Hagerty is the world's largest provider of specialty insurance for enthusiast vehicles and supports keeping car culture alive through youth programs, the Historic Vehicle Association, the RPM Foundation, and more. Hagerty is home to key programs such as the Hagerty Drivers Club, Hagerty Drive Share, Hagerty Valuation Tools, the Hagerty Drivers Club magazine, and much, much more. For more information, visit their website at hagerty.com. PCA Sim Racing is proud to have Hagerty Motorsports as its 2021 title sponsor.
Since 1984, Hagerty has been the worldwide leader in collector car insurance. Everything they do is geared towards enabling and enhancing the experience of automotive enthusiasts and making sure that the vehicles we all love and the lifestyles that revolve around them don't just survive, but thrive well into the future. Services include the Hagerty Drivers Club, Drive Share by Hagerty, the shop, and much more to fuel car culture. Hagerty, let's drive together. Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Podium Esports coverage of the 6th round of the 6th series of PCA Sim Racing live from iRacing's virtual Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada. Of course, this is an event of the PCA Sim Racing series presented by Hagerty. I'm Rachel Whiteford alongside Ricky Springer and Taylor Burris, and our producer for the evening is Ryan Bauer. Ryan, of course, always using those amazing Dougie Beard cameras. We are here in one of my favorite tracks, personally, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Mosport. This place, guys, is phenomenal. Fast, undulating, unforgiving, of course. The very latest iteration of this track in real life has lots of runoff in some of the dangerous places, but for now, iRacing's version still has a lot of those dangerous spots, like the outside of turn 2, Ricky.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous track for these drivers and really no room for error, Rachel. Of course, you said the real-life version now that they're running has a lot more runoff and is a little bit more forgiving. These drivers don't get that luxury here this evening in PCA competition, as these drivers are going to have to navigate this 10-turn course with no runoff and no leeway for mistakes here tonight.
Yeah, very much is. And we got some big guys in this one. Can we see a good run from any of our drivers in the Challenge class? And let's not forget, Challenge is brought to you by the Z1 Dashboard. And version 2021.1 of the Z1 Dashboard has just been released. With it comes the new Z1 Designer. The Z1 Designer lets you create your own custom dashboards for use with the Z1 Dashboard. So in addition to almost 200 standard car dashes, track maps, standings, and specialty displays, you can add your own custom designs, placing the data you want exactly where you want it. Remember, the Z1 Dashboard also takes care of the engineering and strategy for you. Where's your competition? When should you pit? How much fuel do you need? Who's in front or behind you? How's the weather? Are you gaining or losing to other drivers? Make sure you're maximizing your on-track performance with the Z1 Dashboard. Remember to use the discount code PCA21, that's PCA21, when purchasing to get a 15% discount on either the standard or track license. Using the Z1 Dashboard to examine your laps is an essential tool to becoming a faster driver. To find out more, visit www.z1dashboard.com. That is www.z1dashboard.com. Of course, Ricky, we know our weather for today is going to be low winds, 65-ish, and low 20%-ish humidity, which is standard for the series. For the Challenge class sport, we know is about 5 degrees hotter, 10 degrees more humid, 4 miles an hour more wind. So those two are known. We don't know what it's going to be for Club and Pro. That varies. But, of course, at this track, it could always be incredibly varied. Now, we know Matt DeLosa won last time out, beat Glenn Dennis. Can Dennis take him back to this one? Dennis started on pole last week, DeLosa second, and they swapped places here. So DeLosa second, Dennis is currently first at the moment. So that is definitely going to be interesting. Gregory finished third. He's qualified third right now. We've got Aaron Nations as well. It's looking like a rinse repeat here of our grid, actually, other than swapping DeLosa and Dennis, actually, at the moment, apart from Adam Holland being further up now. So, Ricky, what's your predictions for today?
Well, I'm going to be honest, Rachel. J.R. Gregory, at the end of last week at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, was absolutely flying. The elevation change tracks, it seems for him, are just his type of courses. So I believe that tonight here, he really has a good shot at running for that podium and possibly challenging Glenn Dennis and Matt Dialosa for a win here tonight, Rachel.
Could be very exciting to see. Well, we're going to have our grid in just a few seconds' time once these guys wrap up here. Got a slightly smaller field, 35 drivers tonight, so we'll have to see how this one kicks out at Mid-Ohio. It's going to be very Mid-Ohio. Canadian Tire. I'm thinking last week. Don't mind me. But it's going to be a great track, of course. I love this place. It's one of my favorite places to drive. It's, of course, for me, a favorite in the truck series. I loved driving this place when it came to that week in iRacing. Always looked forward to it. But you know what I'm looking forward to right now is the grid. Let's hit it. Pole position tonight will be Zone 2's Glenn Dennis, with second place going to last week's winner, Zone number 9's Matt Dialosa. Third is Zone number 6's J.R. Gregory, with Zone 5's Aaron Nations in fourth. Zone 1's Adam Holland is fifth place, with sixth place. Zone 6 is Volker Krebs. Seventh, Zone number 3 is David Purdy, with eighth. Zone number 8 is Todd Roseman. Ninth is Zone 4's Avjit Barua, with 10th, Zone 1's Terrence Tong. Qualifying a lot better for him this time out. 11th place, Zone number 12 is Benjamin Loving, with Zone number 1's Kim Frick in 12th. Albert Ubeta of Zone 8 in 13th, with 14th being Zone 1's Anke Berger-Son, and 15th being Zone 10's Chris Pippin. The rest of those positions on your screen, as looks like we're going to be set to have a full pace lap here, which will be incredibly cool for us. Gives us some time to talk here, Ricky. Now, Mosport has a lot of tricky sections here. Now, first corner is pretty reasonable for the guys, and we'll talk about this as we go around the pace lap here. But this track definitely has major pitfalls our guys have to look out for today.
Oh, for certain. And right out of turn one, as you look at the track map here, that left-hander, it's a long sweeping downhill Clayton corner, as those drivers will dive downhill to the bottom of turn 3 Quebec corner. And the elevation changes here, Rachel, go up and down, but really the whole first half of the course, as we'll see here on the pace lap, is mostly downhill with a few uphill sections, and then you really, I guess, climb the mountain back up the track on the back half of the course.
You very much do. Now, turn 1, we wanted to talk about that one. Pretty easy. Big, sweeping, slightly off-camber right-hander, which is pretty simple. Can run a little wide, but you got to watch out for pit entrance. Exit. Now, here we have a crest approaching turn 2's turning point into the drop into turn 2. You got to hug this thing all the way to the inside for the majority of this corner, actually. Hold that inside line before tracking out late here in what is kind of almost a double apex there. Before tracking out, coming back across here for 3. Again, probably one of the simpler corners here. Just ride it around that corner in normal fashion. The corners are very wide, actually. Very long corners here at Mosport for the most part. Or for the Mosport part. Yeah, I said it. I regret nothing. Under the Continental Bridge, you come down to what is actually kind of a bumpy location here. There's a big bump on the inside line here you got to be aware of. Around where those patches actually are on the track, you dive down here into a big braking zone for turns 5A and B. Yes, that's what they're called. Canada is just as inventive on corner names as American racetracks. First part is nice and wide. It feeds you in, and then you have a really hard right there, the 5B corner. That kicks you up here, Mario Andretti straightaway. What's different here? You are not tracking out wide and running it up towards the corner and then tucking in. No. You stay far to the right-hand side on this track, on this entire straight, until you track out about 4 lampposts from the end there, up where the white fencing has started, because the inside line there, the right-hand side, is a shallower gradient than the outside of the track there, which is really useful. Now, you get to a couple of light poles here, or the sections on this part of the track. Probably about 4 in, you'll start seeing them braking. That's where they're tracking out to. Bring it through the sweeping 8 here into this final twisting complex. Nice and easy. You'll get some 2-wide action there if there are cars side by side. Sweep it through 9, which is where you can get some really nerve-wracking side by side and some crashes here when people get a little bit wide. Pit entrance as the pace car goes in, green flag waves, and we're racing here through turn number 10, the final corner in Mosport. And it's a good start by Glenn Dennis and Matt DeLosa there at the front. They got a great leap here on the track. Will Matt DeLosa be able to defend his win last week? Or will Glenn Dennis fight back for his honor he wanted last time out? J.R. Gregory, Aaron Nations, Adam Holland, Volker Krebs, David Purdy, Rosman, Barua, Tong, Loving. They all want a piece of this one, so we'll have to see what can come forward from this. But Glenn Dennis starting to make a small gap at the start of this lap. Nice clean through for these guys. No major drama we've seen anywhere on the track, I think, Ricky. It's been clean all the way.
Yeah, and they've mostly decided to take it single file, a very smart move by these challenge drivers to not go side by side through the first set of corners, let everybody get their nerves straightened out as they work their way down to turns 5A and B, and now onto the Mario Andretti straight. And a very good job by these drivers.
Yeah, I heard shenanigans in 5A and B, and I was very right. We had the 248 machine of Anke Berger's son get turned around in 5B. It was just an out-braking maneuver by a car behind him. There was an incident a little bit further back as well. Car was turned around, didn't get a chance to get himself running again. Trying to work out who that was. 71 machine there also had a moment. We'll get back to live racing here. That was Robert Benson, unfortunate for him. Kept the car off the track and out of the way, so good for him. Towards the front, Dennis has opened that gap even further. This is a track where you can escape, Ricky. Unlike quite a lot of the ones the PCA finishes this year, or runs this year, you can really escape at Mosport. You can make a break and you can get lost. You can disappear off into the sunset and make big gaps on the guys behind you. Because it's a driver's track, this is a place where the Porsches here come into their element, and the roofs especially as well. This car is very good at this sort of track. You've got to be careful with the curbs because they are usable in some of these corners, but this place, you could really push. The draft is only really a factor on the Mario Andretti straight, at which point you've already made that gap in most of the lap.
Most certainly, and these drivers are really going to have to be careful. This is one of those type of circuits, Rachel, where if you're out front running on your own, trying to set down qualifying pace laps during the race, it's going to be very difficult to keep that car on the track. Sometimes you'd almost rather to be the second place driver and really have a rabbit to chase at this track and help you keep on course. But Glenn Dennis, never the wiser here, as he is just out front right now and really starting to pull that lead out, and I don't think he's worried too much about staying on the course.
No, I agree with you. He is going for it. He's got 1.8 seconds on Matt DeLosa here. So unless he makes a mistake, that is looking like a pretty good run for him. J.R. Gregory behind them is another 1.8 back from DeLosa. Aaron Nations, Volker Krebs right behind them. Bit of a gap back to Adam Holland here. Purdy in a bit of a dead zone behind them. Tong as well. Good to see Tong further back up the field here. He was really struggling last week out of Mid-Ohio. He was a lot further back, which I think threw us a little bit with his performance. But as Benjamin Loving went very wide there and off the track, I don't know what happened to him. Did he get a slowdown? No, he went wide in the corner, had to slow down to not spin the car, and gave up a lot of track time. That is unfortunate for him.
Absolutely, but Terrence Tong with a 17th place finish definitely did a great job at getting himself qualified up front. But Abhijit Barua had a decent finish last week at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course and is looking to try and move his way up through the field. 29th right now, Rachel, and I think he might be trying to get on the move to break himself inside the top 20.
I think I could agree with you there. That's something we'll probably see in this, as he does go for a good push on the track. Busy section of racing here. They've got to be very careful with what they're getting up to, because this track will bite you. We mentioned it before. You can make a lot of solo car mistakes. Benjamin Loving showed us one back there. Just overcook an entry slightly too much in any one of these corners and you will go off track on a big adventure. Do it in turn 2. You're going down that grass to the barrier. There is no two ways about it. In 3, good chance of the same thing, although there's a lot more runoff there to recover the car. 4, you can actually miss that entire entry to 5A and B. If you overcook the exit there, you could literally go flying across that grass, yeet yourself across the course, and exit the fence stage left. 8, 9, and 10, so much room for error. This place will bite you, and it will not care. Gap at the front is widening even further. We're looking at 2.3 last time by for Dennis over DeLosa. They're definitely putting in the work with this one. We're seeing some very fast race cars today at Bonneville, Ontario. For these guys, as they're getting wider and wider, Ricky. We're seeing huge speed from everybody in this field. Bit of too wide racing actually back here with Kim Frick. And that's the 66 machine of Chris Pippin. Oh, Pippin's there with Kim Frick in the 66. Through 8, 9, and 10 at the moment. They are now single filed out. We've got a good battle here.
Yeah, and this is a very interesting part of the track, Rachel. That's really where you can kind of make those moves. But you said as we were coming to the green flag, drivers going side by side there, as almost down to the inside there again, going through turn 1. But side by side gets very sketchy through that portion of the track. Those curbs are very tall. Makes it very difficult to go too wide. And if you do get on the curbs, could spell disaster for you as well as the driver beside you.
Incredibly true, as they're all over each other here. This is so close. Keep our eyes on this battle for the moment. It's one of our closest fights we're seeing. Just inside the top 10 here. Battle for 9th place. You're on board there. Pippin again, the Kansas City region of zone number 10 driver, putting his car to work. Frick is up from 12th to 9th right now, Ricky. And Pippin, oh, look how close he is. He's up from 15th to 10th. So he's opening that door forcibly as he gets up alongside here, but he's going to be on a slightly steeper gradient here than Frick, which means Frick is likely to defend this as we see him there, gets in behind him. Can he go for the draft? Can he put it underneath the car? He won't have the room. His only hope here is to outbrake him, go round the outside, round the outside, as one great philosopher once said. No chance to get through 9. Looking for 10. Can he dive? That'd have been bold to dive it in there. He doesn't go for it. He holds it steady as they come up towards start-finish line. Cross they'll go on to lap number 5 here. 7 minutes of this race completed, and this one is fire.
Yeah, this is a really great battle here, Rachel, and you could see Pippin from the onboard shots that we were getting there from Dougie Beard, that how much harder he's able to get into the braking zones here. You can most definitely see it down in 5A and B as we'll take a look at it again this time by, but so much harder off into the braking zones, and the braking zones are few and far between here for hard braking, and if you can get into those braking zones well, it will definitely help you out. So we'll see this time. Look at that gain right there up to the back of the 66 machine.
All over him here as they come through Moss Corner. 5A and B. He gets his nose on the outside again, but he's going to be on that steeper gradient here, which will really hurt him. You'll watch him drift back towards the rear of Pippin. If you want to get through here, Pippin, you're going to have to go to the other side of Frick earlier than this. You're going to have to open the door the other way. It's one of those rotating spinny doors, you know, the ones you can get your leg horribly trapped in. Just go to the other side. It'll be fine. Sticks around the outside, nearly got on the grass there, holds it true, but he'll slide back before 8. Can he stick his nose in again? No! He has not Pinocchio enough here. Loses that position, holds where he's at, but this fighting is bringing Benjamin Loving up here to get involved in that 407 machine. That's not Benjamin Loving, that is somehow a lap car. I'm not entirely sure how, but it is. That is Todd Roseman, who did start out in 8th place. Unfortunately, he had an incident. He is back here in 34th. But he is definitely keeping it moving here. Oh, we got side by side again. Can he make it through? Pippin did make it through. Nice move here by Pippin on Frick. He got it done. But we see an attack back here from the 66 driver. Coming into Moss 5A and into B. The gap widened there. Big dive in here by Pippin. Definitely seeing more speed. Now he's gotten past Ricky. I think that's been the big advantage for him.
Yeah, and he's really putting the gap on that 66 machine and was able to get out of the slipstream there. But another great battle on the racetrack as P17, 18, and I believe 16 as well. All 3 cars, including Tim Pruitt, in a battle here as they work their way down the Mario Andretti straight.
Yes, certainly, and that was a great little battle we saw between those 2 cars. But Terrence Tong is looking to try and gain here on David Purdy. Hasn't caught up yet. That doesn't mean he's not going to try. Head of them Nations is catching Gregory, so this could be our next evolving battle, I'm thinking, we're seeing here for the 3rd and 4th place, actually. In fact, he's catching quickly now. Look at Aaron Nations here, you're seeing there. The Maverick region driver from Zone 5, the Texan, is coming on strong. What can he do? Making big gains in the middle of 5A and B there. Or Moss, we could call it, but 5A and B sounds more practical given that it's really 2 separate corners. It's not like part 1 and part 2. Actually, no, it is. It's part 1 and 2 of a JK Rowling saga. It changes completely in the next one.
Yeah, very difficult corner there, Rachel. But Aaron Nations is just as good on the brakes as we saw Pippin there in that battle for 10th just a few moments ago. That's really where Nations is gaining that time on J.R. Gregory, is into the braking zone. You see it again coming through the last corner, just a car length here and a car length there. J.R. Gregory going to have to protect now, as just a little bit under 20 minutes left to play.
Very much, as this one is definitely an exciting race for us tonight. Challenge classes licked the torch for tonight. Sport, Club, and Pro are going to have to really kick it into high gear to give us something worthy of this challenge class race. We've had some great car-on-car action. Oh, and the inside! He sticks it in there! He cannot keep it there, though. That was close, and I love that racing is the one place where you can say that and it's totally fine. But Aaron Nations took a big dive. He got side by side here with J.R. Gregory, but he just couldn't keep the pace in there. He had to slow down too much because he dived in so hard. He had to brake harder, and he lost that position. But he lost more time than he gained.
Yeah, and that was a very smart move by Nations there to not end up getting into Gregory and ruining both of their races. Able to give up some time there, but now to P8 driver Terrence Tong, still moving his way up through the field. The Upper Canada region driver, Zone 1, doing a great job here at, we can assume, is one of his home tracks here. Only two of the biggest Canadian racetracks.
Totally is. What we talk about our leader? Well, he's dealing with traffic right now, so everything could go wrong, but it might not. So we'll have to keep an eye on him in the timing of scoring unless something else happens, because he's nowhere near Matt DeLosa. He has 2.9 seconds up the track, and we know that Glenn Dennis is great at dealing with traffic as he passes into the car here. That'll be John Bradley just there. It makes life very easy for him, but DeLosa himself has just not had the pace here. Canadian Time Motorsport Park, Ricky. He's trying, he's just not there. It stayed around nearly 3 seconds for the entire duration of the race. Gregory and Nations is our closest battle in his top 5 grouping. Volker Krebs, though, he's in the wings.
Yeah, and I believe Glenn Dennis, this is another one of those tracks. Seems that he's better in more of the flowing type tracks, the tracks that require a good flow, and to continue the momentum. There is a great pass on the outside there, Rachel.
Totally is. Well, this race has definitely been an exciting one for us so far, as you'll see. I think that was Gregory getting past the lap car. No, actually wasn't. That was DeLosa getting past the lap car. Just ahead again. But, you know what? It is time for everyone's favourite part of the race. We're going for that midway race break here in your challenge class, brought to you by Z1 Dashboard. Do not forget that the version 2021.1 of the dashboard has just been released. And while it comes with a new Z1 designer, that lets you create your own custom dashboards for use with the Z1 dashboard. So in addition to the almost 200 standard car dashes, track maps, standings, and specialty displays, you can add your own custom designs that place the data you want exactly where you want it. Remember that Z1 dashboard takes care of the engineering and strategy for you. Where's your competition? When should you pit? How much fuel do you need? Who's in front of you, behind you? How's the weather? Are you gaining or losing time to others? Make sure you're maximizing your on-track performance with the Z1 dashboard. And remember to use discount code PCA21 when purchasing to get a 15% discount on either the standard or track license. Using the Z1 dashboard to examine your laps is an essential tool to becoming a faster driver. Find out more at www.z1dashboard.com. Without further ado, let's start running down our order. This is Glenn Dennis, your Potomac region driver from Zone 2. The car, number 20, has been on the pole and is still leading this thing by now 3.2 seconds over Matt DeLosa in second place. The Rocky Mountain region driver is having a rockier race than last week. From zone number 9, the 90 car is started second, running second, not looking like it's going to go forwards. Third place is J.R. Gregory from the Oregon region, hopefully not the Oregon Trail. Don't need dysentery in this business. So number 6, the 218 car, started third, running third. Aaron Nations is in the 4th place from the Maverick region of Texas, zone number 5 there. The 14 car started 4th, running 4th. You're catching a theme here. Well, that trend changes here with P5. Volker Krebs in the 053 of the Canada West region, zone number 6. So unfortunately not this zone of Canada, but still Canada, so it counts. He's up 1 position from 6th. And on the flip side, this is Adam Holland from the Upper Canada region of Zone 1. The 144 car is down 1 position from where he started in 6th place. 7th place is David Purdy. Purdy is exactly where he started in this race. Wait, no, that's 7th, that's Terence Tong. We have had a bit of a change in order there. So Terence Tong is running in the 7th place. Upper Canada region of zone number 1, the 388 machine. He is up about 3 places where he started. My timing and scoring has not updated. P8 for tonight is going to be Kim Frick of the Niagara region. Zone number 1 there, the 66 car. He is getting that car moving here. He's had that big battle with Pippin. In fact, he got the position back to show him up about 4 places from where he qualified. Chris Pippin in the 9th position, the 32 car, the Kansas City driver from zone number 10. He's been pouring on the oil tonight, trying to fight there with Kim Frick, and we'll hopefully see them at it again. I think we're back in level playing field with our timing and scoring here. 10th place, if I'm getting this right, is Benjamin Loving, and I am. Florida Citrus region driver of zone 12 in that 407 machine.
Just outside of the top 10 is David Purdy, coming off of a 23rd place finish. A little unfortunate at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, but the Peach State region driver of zone 3 looking to battle his way inside the top 10 with a fierce battle. 12th spot can be Andrew Hillman, and is from zone 10 as he is just behind that grouping there. I apologize, it was a lap car involved there, but has quite a bit of time to a car in front of him, but trying to work his way up to that grouping. 13th spot can be Craig Smith from the Mid-Ohio region of zone 4 in the 74 machine, working his way from P13 now, trying to move up as well. 14th spot. Pulled up here is going to be Patrick from the Upper Canada region of zone 1 in the 35 machine. And zip code of his own right now, trying to work his way up inside of the top 10, but has a long while to go with 12 minutes only left to race here. 15th spot, I believe, is going to be Jason Sherwood from zone 7, the number 6 machine. Got some checkered flag on the sleeves there, hoping to get a checkered flag this season in season 6 in PCA competition. A little ways away from that here tonight at Canada, as 15th spot currently running for the 6 machine. 16th spot going to be Michael from the Oregon region of zone 6, the 021 machine. P16 currently trying to work his way and navigate his way through turn 2 here, a very difficult part of the course, but doing it and never the wiser as he continues to keep it on the inside. 17th spot going to be Stefan from the Upper Canada region of zone 1 in the number 25 machine. Rocking, I believe, is what's to be a new paint scheme here. Don't know if I've quite seen that for the whole season so far, but he looks like he is in quite a heated battle here for the 18th spot of Ankerberger's son, who had some problems earlier on in the race. The 248 machine from the Northwest region of zone 1, trying to battle his way back inside the top 15. 19th spot going to be Tim Pruitt from the Peach State region of zone 3 in the 329 machine, falling back from that grouping in front of him as he works his way onto Mario Andretti straight and has no help to tow him down that long straightaway. He's got a while to go before getting to the cars in front. Finally, rounding out the top 20, he's going to be Jack from the Chicago region of zone 13. The number 4 machine has a couple of cars behind him, but just inside of the top 20 and trying to maintain that spot for the rest of the race, Rachel.
So his 21st place tonight is going to be Andrew Smiley, the Connecticut Valley region driver of zone 1. He is the 167 machine driver. He's unfortunately down 4 places from 17th. 21st place tonight is Jack Stevenson, the Chicago region driver of zone 13 in that number 4 car. Nope, no more on to Daniel Dugas. That is the 22nd place driver there, the 57 car from the Hill Country region of zone 5. 23rd is James Hemming, the Chesapeake region driver of zone 2 in the 986. James Hemming there is currently up from 35th to 23rd, which with some quick math is going to be 8. Getting some change around in our numbers here, which is throwing us for 6. Greg Palmer there in the 22nd place, Milwaukee region driver of zone 13. 23rd is John Bradley of the Ohio Valley region of zone 4. Car number 10 there for him. I am definitely getting confused by all this. 24th is Jack Stevenson. We already covered him a moment ago. Hagerty Brewer in 26th place as we actually catch up here. Not sure what's going on, but Mid-Ohio region driver, zone number 4 in the 991. Bruce Fiobi is in the 27th place from the Red River region of zone number 10. 28th place is Andrew McCune in the Rocky Mountain region of zone number 9. I think just because these guys are a lap down, it's really playing with the timing of scoring. Everybody else is unfortunately off the track. Well, that was our midway race break for the challenge class tonight, brought to you by Z1 Dashboard. And we return to your regularly scheduled racing here on track at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. And I've done it again. That's the second time today. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. There we go. Looking through the field, we've got that battle still going between Nations and Gregory. It's got a small gap here, but it's not quite as much as it was before. They've closed back in. We could see them doing something before the end of this race. Terence Tong, though, he's caught up. He's looking for the guys ahead of him, but right behind him, Volker Krebs is not out of this thing yet. He wants a piece of the action.
Yeah, in a close battle there. Those drivers just battling, I believe, just inside of the top 10, or I'm sorry, just inside of the top 10 there. And those drivers going to be pushing for everything they can for the points here tonight, Rachel.
Totally Ara's got a bit of a whoopsie-doodle on the side there as the car gets well out of the way of Terence Tong. Lap car down there. I thought that was somebody in position, but Volker Krebs is coming for him right now. He's lining up there behind the car of Hong. Not going to be that close. I thought he was a lot closer, but that gap is much, much wider than I thought it was. So our biggest battle in this grouping is actually going to be, again, Nations and Gregory, and let's switch back to them because they're all big check-up on the start-finish line. That was super, super close for them as a lap car in front of them was just sat there too long on a Sunday drive, and, well, Nations had to, or Gregory had to slam on the brakes there, Ricky.
Yeah, and I saw that happen on the front straightaway as well, but J.R. Gregory gets a little bit more of a gap because of that. But now back to P9, Kim Frick is still trying to get into that ace spot. It's really pushing hard. This battle keeps heating up lap after lap. Mario Andretti straight, just a few tenths of a second in between those two drivers as they both tried to battle their way down to turn 8. Were side by side for a little while, but ended up straightening back out. And Frick now back on the move to the back bumper.
Certainly is, and just for an update, the gap between Dennis and Dialosa is down to 2.2 seconds, so he's gained 0.7. Last time by, Glenn Dennis did a 1 of 15.604. Dialosa a 15.820. So 2 tenths of a second faster for your leader over the Rocky Mountain region driver in second place. Not going to be enough at this stage of the race. We have 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes left on your clock here tonight. So we're looking at about 5 laps, I'm thinking, at this point, would be my, again, quick head math for us on the racetrack. But it's definitely all about Nations and Holland here. This is the battle Nations and Gregory, battle for third place in this one. This is really tight, and it could go either way at the moment for me, Ricky. Gregory's held it so far all race long, but Nations is hungry, and he keeps trying. He's really close.
Yeah, Nations really pushing. Missed out last week at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course off of the podium, but J.R. Gregory brought home the third step, looking to do it again, but Aaron Nations trying to take that spot from him, and this battle has been going on all race long. A 30-minute battle has now come down to these last 6 odd so minutes here. These drivers still within a second of each other. The gap continues to close and lengthen at different parts of the track.
That's what we'll expect to see here. What else is happening in your field? Craig Smith is hitting pit road. Bogan and Uradaka are looking for the opportunity to race each other here. Uradaka's closing in. Purdy is trying to find some speed as well, as is Frick just ahead of him, and Pippin. Those two still pretty close, but no one near as close as they were. Although Pippin here is what to keep an eye on. The Kansas City region driver is looking for Volker Krebs here. 15th, looking for 7th place, and he's getting super close. Look at this, all over the back of that Haribo car. I don't know about you, Ricky, but I'd love to get a piece of that Haribo car. I wonder if it tastes like the actual Star Mix.
You know, you really have to wonder, Rachel, but I don't think Volker Krebs wants the drivers behind him to run into the back bumper of that rough track version machine to see if maybe the taste is there. I think that he wants that gap to be a lot bigger, possibly where they can't even see the gummy bears on there. But maybe that's what makes people chase him so hard, is they want the gummy bears on the car, not necessarily the position.
You know, if that was the case, they'd all stay behind him, but I'm pretty sure that's not the intention of Chris Pippin. Pretty sure he wants to be ahead of it, looking back at the lovely Haribo through his rearview mirror. We'll have to see whether we can do that, but they are gaining here time on Terence Tong. He's just coming out of the corner there, so it's about under 2 seconds there, so that's really getting to come down now in terms of a gap. That's becoming attack range with 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go now.
Yeah, and that attack range gets very, very close here, Rachel, to be able to pounce on a position. These drivers, you don't have to be necessarily, even within a second of a driver, if you're a lot better under braking, can really get down into A and B well. I've said it all challenge race long, that if you can get into those hard braking corners, be much better off than the rest of the drivers. And it seems drivers like Aaron Nations and JR Gregory are some of the best at really getting into those corners, with of course the exception of Glenn Dennis, our leader right now. But that's one of the most important parts of the track, and really the slowest part of the track as well.
Certainly is, but we got, is that what I think that is? That's the Haribo machine off. That was a battle for position, and Volker Krebs is in the grass on the outside of turn 2. And it was a solo incident. He got behind a lap car. The 6 machine, I think it was, of Sherwood. That was going significantly slower than he was, and he tried to slow down, and it unbalanced the car, sent him around and into the grass. No damage, but definitely lost a couple of positions there, leaving now Pippin to take the place.
Yeah, that's a very hard part of the track to get on the brakes, Rachel. As you can see the speed going through the grass there, but a very difficult part to touch the brakes at all, as it's almost off cambered going downhill if you're that far to the outside of the corner like Krebs was. And just couldn't quite hold on to that rough machine. Ends up going around, and that's going to put him way deep in the field.
Yes, it is, as that changes the entire dynamic for Volker Krebs, unfortunately. But what is happening with our battle for 3rd place? Well, right now, that final step of the podium is occupied by JR Gregory. It has been all race long. Aaron Nations was looking to take it, but Ricky, while zooming off screen, he's just fallen back as there's a car around it. God, that was scary, as there was a car around right in front there of Aaron Nations, the 248 machine. Had done some donuts involuntarily. Now I want donuts. Okay. Ankerberger-son has not had a great race today. He's had 2 incidents that we've seen, and both of them have been self-spins.
Yeah, and some problems most definitely for Ankerberger-son, but still inside of the top 20 here, Rachel. I mean, that has to mean something. That driver obviously likes the track, but it's definitely having some problems, as now Adam Holland has passed for the 3rd position. Seems like Aaron Nations may have some issues, possibly got into that lap car, and yeah, a little bit of damage on the right front.
Yeah, that could have been exactly what happened there for those guys, which I think changed things. Lap traffic has been a big problem here at Mosport, as we see Nations heading to pit road there, giving that one up at this point. Got 1 minute 27 on the clock now. Where's Dennis? Dennis is heading down to pit road, so we will complete this lap, I think. Yes, we will complete this lap, but this will be our white flag this time by here, as we will not complete the one after it. Dennis's gap 3 seconds flat, just in the ballpark there, with Delosa behind him. Dennis has run a flawless race here. Not much I can say about him, Ricky, but he's really put this one to work.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 mistakes along the way, but nothing for Matt Delosa to get to the back bumper of Dennis the whole entire race as he works his way down the Mario Andretti straight. A flawless race for that number 20 machine. And I believe this is just kind of reminiscent of what we've seen all year. Is very close there. Almost in an accident late in going here.
My gosh, that was a big close moment, as yeah, this seems to be the story of this race, is trying to avoid lap cars is the biggest problem in this entire thing. That was 0.21. I think that nearly got into him there, being Michael Burgoyne, who was the just lap this time by, actually, back of the lap. It's been very spicy with lap traffic, as we have had the white flag out here for Glenn Dennis as he comes down towards the bridge. Here, the Continental Bridge, before dropping down towards Mosport. Last time here, a flawless run by your race leader in the 20. He's got a couple more corners to handle and a few more lap cars, but I think he's going to lay off the gas pedal a little bit if he comes to them in the last couple of corners. Dialosa is close behind him, though. He can't afford to give up too much. We've got cars side by side ahead, but a good gap. Shouldn't catch them before the line. Dialosa can see him, but it's close, but no cigar for Matt Dialosa right now. Unless something dramatic happens, it is looking like it is Glenn Dennis's race to lose. The 20 car comes through 8, through 9, through turn 10, and the only thing he sees is a checkered flag. Glenn Dennis wins at Mosport in your challenge class. Matt Dialosa brings it home in the second place there, leaving JR Gregory now his fight with Aaron Nations long gone. I had a bit of a moment there. He's the last car on the lead lap now, unfortunately. He's gone down a lap, actually. Aaron Nations, unfortunately, pulled to pit road for service to get that quick repair, but it's been a great race for Dennis, for Dialosa. Gregory has come across the line now. Holland has come across the line. Terence Tong, and we've got battle for 10th here on your screen, and it is super close. Chris Pippin, he's been around all race long. He was up much higher than this. He must have had an incident, because right now Stefano Radaka's ahead of him for 10th place from 24th. That is one heck of a climb. Up 14 places here. Will it stay 14 or will it be 13? A couple more corners to find out.
This has been a great battle, Rachel. These drivers have been going at it for several laps now. But it looks as most that battle has kind of concluded as they work their way through 8, 9, and 10.
Certainly are. As all the inside he goes. Big dog. Oh, that's not wise. As that's going to get reviewed. Pretty guaranteed that will get reviewed. Chris Pippin will come across the line in 10th place, but got a feel for Stephanie Radaka there. That was controversial. We will get those results up on your screen for you before we head across to the sport race. Glenn Dennis brings it home with a win here at Mosport, with second place being Matt Dialosa, third JR Gregory, fourth Adam Holland, fifth place Terence Tong, sixth Kim Frick with Glolka Krebs, Patrick Adamczyk, Benjamin Loving, Chris Pippin in 10th place with 11th Stephanie Radaka, Andrew Smiley in 12th, Tim Pruitt, Michael Burgoyne, and Anke Bergerson in 15th. Rest of those positions on your screen. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with your sport class. we said we'd be back, and we are back. We are here with your sport class race tonight from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We have just had a thriller in your challenge class race. Glenn Dennis brought home the win. What will we see tonight in the sport class brought to you by Pirelli? Pirelli was founded in Milan in 1872 and is a global brand known for its cutting-edge technology, high-end production excellence, and passion for innovation that draws heavily on its Italian roots. Pirelli is among the world's major producers of tyres and is an OEM supplier to Porsche. Find out more about Pirelli at www.pirelli.com. Well, we are back here for our second race of the evening. We spoil you not once, but twice, but 3 times here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Let's go check out your starting grid for tonight. On pole position, Zone 5's Ken Tubman leads us off today, with Zone number 4's Ogren Gerlach, last week's winner, in second place. Third is Zone number 1's David D. Palmer, with 4th, Zone 5's Jason Brodigan. 5th place is Zone number 1's Stephen Chapman, with 6th, Zone number 3's Curtis Crummell. 7th is Zone number 5's Gregory Sampson, with 8th, Zone 1's John Martin. His zone mate Ben Lung is in 9th. 10th place is Zone number 2's John Crook, with 11th place being Zone number 1's Will Waldron. 12th, Zone number 5's Will Kelly, with 13th place Zone number 2's Carol Davis. 14th, Zone number 1's Drew Kenny. And 15th, Zone number 3's Daniel Florian. Well, Taylor, I will bring you in for a quick comment here. We had a bumper race in the challenge class. We know Club is typically spicier than challenge. What are we expecting in this one? Will we have any voices left when it's done?
Most likely we will. Yeah, sport. This is a sport class, Rachel. But this class here is always full of excitement. We do see a couple of drivers start to pull away in the opening lap, but when you have Ken Tubman, Ogren Gerlach, David Palmer battling for the race lead, you know they're going to put on a good show. And this track here is full of different styles of racing. You have the elevation changes, the tight corners, the flowing corners, and then the long Mario Andretti straightaway that provides drivers a chance to slipstream and pass their competitors before they head down into the final set of corners. So it's going to provide excitement, but we'll also have to see who survives this circuit.
Yes, we very much will. This track is one that will bite you if you let it, and try and tame you if you don't. It is an incredibly fun racetrack to drive, an incredibly fun racetrack to watch people actually driving on. I honestly love this place. It is a fantastic circuit, and the PCA Sim Racing Series quickly becoming one of my favorite, if not favorite, racing leagues for GT cars. These guys do it right, and we love to be here with them. Ken Tubman leaves the field here through Moss Corner. We'll have to see what happens in just a short while when we go green flag here. This will be a very exciting race. We have 32 cars in the field tonight, from Ken Tubman all the way down to Carlo Bocchietti at the back, who did not qualify, along with Ken Nielsen and Federico Del Toro. I think I got that one right. I can't help that. For some reason, whenever I pronounce a name from another language, I always pronounce it in the accent. It's one of those terribly British things I do, but one of those amazingly Canadian things we're doing is racing here, Taylor.
We certainly are, Rachel. This track is home to some of the best racing that we've seen in the recent decades. Of course, IMSA comes here before the COVID pandemic, as well as the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, and they've always put on a good show, as well as Porsche GT3 Cup cars who come out this way. So this is going to be full of excitement. I'm looking forward to it, and as the pace car works its way through the S's into the infamous White's Corner, we're about to turn them loose here for 30 minutes.
We are indeed. Pace cars off. Green flag will fly. Big early start there. Ooh, big early start. Big jump by Ken Tubman. It was a tub, more swimming pool man at that point in time, I think. He went for it really quickly there and was off, which I think is his prerogative here. Gerlach, though, he struggled. He lost 3 places in one straightaway here, as he's now just there ahead of Dean Chapman. But Palmer, Brodigan, and Chapman actually got past him. No, Palmer and Brodigan got past him. Chapman is right behind him there. He jumped the others as well. There's the entire race that the leader's line actually went through. So we got 3rd, 5th got through as well. Maths, it's hard. Ken Tubman coming through Moss 5B. I should call it one or the other, Moss or 5A and 5B, but it feels like it needs something more. A little garnish on that corner. Although Sterling Moss, a legend of motorsports, leads us into the Mario Andretti straightaway here. Another motorsports legend there. We've got a couple of side-by-side cars here on the track. Climbing up here over the crest. You'll see how shallow it is actually on the inside line there, Taylor, compared to the outside.
It certainly is, and that makes it a little bit interesting of how to set up your car while going into these corners right here. If you set it up properly, you can make a nice pass on the inside, but you can also defend on the outside as John Crook watches on the battle. A big issue right there between Will Kelly as well as Will Waldron and John Martin battling on for that 10th position as they dive it down into turn 1. A great battle here, but you got to be careful when coming up to this next couple of set of corners right here. Turn 2, as well as Clayton corner right here, and then Quebec corner. We already saw a couple of cars go a little bit too wide through Clayton to go right into the grass. No contact yet into the tire barrier, but still some great racing action going on this early on as Ken Tubman has pulled out to about a 0.6 of a second lead and growing.
You know, it's funny they call them Clayton and Quebec. You'd think turn 2 would be Quebec corner, because you go off there, you're heading a long way off the track, probably to Quebec. Whereas Clayton corner, it sounds so gentle and forgiving as we have a car around there on the screen, but no impact, just self-spin. It's definitely one of the more difficult locations for things, but as we're looking towards the front here, battling between Palmer, you saw him.
Oh, trouble up at Moss.
There is trouble at Moss, but we just saw past your lead, David B. Palmer, getting the lead here. You'll tell us what happened in a minute, Taylor, but seeing if Tubman could fight back. See it yet. But he gets through.
Great battle there. Yeah, those two drivers were going at it hard all the way down Mario Andretti straight. Ended up getting side by side there, Rachel. A very difficult battle and a difficult part of the track going off into 8 to try and pass on the outside. But thankfully, Palmer was able to get up front before getting into turn 8. Is now looking to kind of run away from the lead here.
Big issue right now for Will Waldron has been black flagged for an orange zone violation after causing some incidents in the opening stages, so a tough break for him as he was the second place finisher from last week when we were over at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, so a tough break for him. He's going to have to try to recover and see what he can do and if he has any chance for a good finish here tonight.
Certainly is. I'm being visited in the booth here by a very nice cat. As David Palmer holds the lead here at Mosport, doing what he can to keep this position ahead of Ken Tubman. Just quickly fill us in, Taylor. What happened earlier at Moss?
Well, John Croak got a little bit too wide, looped it around through Moss corner, and then unfortunately collected several other cars coming out of Moss, actually sending a couple of cars up on their side. And unfortunately for that, that'll send John Croak along with several other drivers down pit road to get that service. I believe one of them was one of the Martini liveried roof track cars. I believe that goes to Robert Walton in the number 4. So a tough break for him. He's still out on the racetrack right now, but for John Croak in the 25, he's still going to be on pit road. I believe also is one more car as well. I'll find out who that is momentarily. Will Waldron, who's just now came down pit road to serve his penalty.
He very much is, unfortunately, there for him, but he'll get that done and get back out on track. That was his orange zone violation for him. As, the Mountaineer has left my office finally, which helps things significantly. As Gregory Sampson, keep an eye on him at the moment, actually. He was fighting there with Goat. And he looks to the outside. Could he hold it alongside? Gets it on the outside. Can he hold it? He's far enough ahead here to really hold it on the inside for 8. And into 9. He does hold the inside there for 9. Secures that place, and Gerlap's having a terrible day out today.
Yeah, and that was a really tough battle. There are a lot of cars jumbled up in that portion of the track, but Gerlap definitely having some issues trying to get through that jumbled mess right there. It's 4 cars under a blanket as they work their way into turn 1. That's a very interesting battle, and these drivers, they've been at it since the beginning of the race.
They have indeed. I mean, I think something clicked inside Ogren's head when he missed that start there. It was a very aggressive start by Tubman, but he's been going backwards ever since. Oh, folks, you know what? It seems like a great time to have a quick chat to our podium from your challenge class. First up, of course, is the one, the only Glenn Dennis. Congratulations on a flawless flag-to-flag win here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Thanks very much. Happy to have a good race today. Tough track and a lot of fun, though.
Very much is. Just, is this a track you like or you dislike or you're good at? Obviously, you're fast here, but I know Mosport can be a little bit marmitey for people.
Yeah, it's a very intimidating track. It's, I guess, known as the fastest average lap speed in North America. So really, really fast. The margin of error is very small. If you go off, you go off big. So a lot of practice and a lot of precision here. So really enjoy the challenge. But I tell you what, I'm exhausted after that race. It was high stress. I couldn't wait for it to be over, to be honest.
Certainly one of those tracks that leaves you wringing with sweat no matter what car you're driving it in, which
very much
something I have from personal experience myself. Sorry, I'm talking about co-commentator, I thought. Glenn, a fantastic run today. Congratulations on another win. This championship's looking pretty good for you.
Yeah, happy about it. Got to close out 2 more races, kind of keep it clean and, stay in the, looking to finish in the top 5 in the last couple races, and I think we'll be good to go.
Fantastic. Well, anybody you'd like to do a shout out to or thank before we let you go?
Yeah, as always, thank our sponsors, Hagerty and obviously PCA Sim, Podium Esports. Love what you guys do, and you guys make it so much fun. And then, of course, all of our zone moderators and the zone groups that practice and give us coaching all week long. Very, very helpful, and appreciate everything they do.
Phenomenal. Well, thanks for joining us. Glenn Dennis coming home today with a win at Mosport.
Thanks, guys.
Next up is Matt Dialosa, who's standing by with Taylor Burris.
Here with Matt Dialosa. Matt, you came home second here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Your thoughts on your battle that you had with Glenn Dennis and your thoughts on the entire race itself?
Well, Glenn is super fast as usual. I did everything I could to close that gap. We ran into a little traffic, and I thought I had an opportunity here and there, but it just never came together. It was really fun, though. A very stressful race. Tons of traffic, lots of shenanigans. Still had a great time.
What do you think is the difficulty with trying to negotiate lap traffic around Canadian Tire Motorsports Park?
Well, some of those corners require a lot of momentum, and braking in the wrong place is bad news, right? So you really have to be looking really far down the course if you can, and you just don't want to do any sort of random inputs that are going to knock you off the course. So, yeah, that's the big challenge.
Well, Matt, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to say thank you to?
Well, a quick thanks to Glenn for being so fast and giving me someone to chase and respect. And really the whole field. I just been loving this club. Everyone that puts on the PCA Sim Racing has been great and having a lot of fun with it. So all the PCA people having a great time. Thanks for that.
Of course, that is Matt Dialosa coming home in second, as we have none other than our very own Ricky sitting down with J.R. Gregory, who comes home in third.
And J.R. Gregory bringing it home in the third spot, a third spot finish last week at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. J.R. Gregory, it looks like you're a fan of these tracks with a lot of elevation change.
That very well could be. As I mentioned to y'all last time, we do have a couple of courses in this area. We've got a great road course out in Grass Valley, Oregon, and another one in Spokane that are very hilly and have a lot of these similar blind corners, and they are a blast. And you just have to trust that, you floor it, steer in, and hope for the best lap after lap. It's pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great battle for most of the race between you and Aaron Nations. Take us through a little bit of the pressure that was going on. Of course, that battle lasted all the way until about 9 minutes left to go in the race.
Yeah, I was just chatting with him about that. We have been very close all week in practice. I have driven a lot with him this week leading up to this. And I was having a blast with that. And it's compared to last week, it was kind of the the hunter becomes the hunted. I was tracking guys down last week, and today I had nobody in front of me and Nation's behind me, no one pressuring him. And he drove a great race. I think, unfortunately, he got tangled up in some lap traffic, but yeah, he had a ton of pace, and I was definitely enjoying being on defense. I think it was slowing me down, though. It was pretty interesting. A little added anxiety, I guess.
Certainly. But if elevation change is your thing, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, the next race up on the calendar, should be pretty good for you then, if that's what the cup of tea is for you, JR Gregory. But nevertheless, a great finish. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Yeah, sure. We definitely should thank our sponsor, Hagerty. Appreciate their involvement in keeping this thing going and providing this venue for us. It's been a great season, and we're all having an absolute blast. And Z1 Dashboards, of course, who sponsor us here in Challenge. And of course, I always have to thank you guys. That's why I drive so hard, is so I can come up here and spend quality time with y'all after the race. So thanks for calling the action for us here at Mosport.
Absolutely, and we love talking with you. Best of luck for the rest of the season. That was JR Gregory, your third place finisher of the challenge class, as we get back to some more racing action of the sport class. Rachel, what do we got going on track?
Got some great action going on track. We're looking here at two cars on your screen. They're running in P4 and P5 as Gregory Sampson looking back towards 5th place here. Jason Brodigan, 14 car from the Maverick region. There's two Texas drivers for you right now, duking it out of the track. 3rd place looking back towards him, Dean Chapman, the Northern New Jersey region. They are super close together here on the racetrack, actually. Sampson and Brodigan's just dropped back a tiny bit behind them, but one of our closest fronts of the fields we've had. Palmer has been a big gap, 3.1 seconds to Tubman behind him, who had a huge start at the race, but has just dropped back somewhat here. The gap's actually going to update this time by to 3.5 seconds, so Palmer is legging it here. Dean Chapman under attack. We'll keep our eyes on this battle here, Ricky, because Sampson is closing in.
Yeah, and that's going to be really the name of the game here, is these drivers going to be closing in later on in the runs. A lot of these drivers going to take several laps of being around other cars. Of course, lots of practices that PCA puts on and practice races for these drivers to get acclimated to the track. But if you're not able to run with cars on the track in any of those events that PCA puts on before race day, it makes it very difficult to run around other cars. And some of these drivers might take a little bit for them to get acclimated to running with so many cars on the track. But a great battle now, and Sampson definitely no worse for wear without any practice if he had any, but now trying to work his way onto the podium.
He certainly is. Keep eyes on this one briefly as he comes to the outside here to make a move. Goes to the outside for the braking zone to turn 8. Oh, cut off there by Chapman, who does not want him going through as he goes wide. Chapman goes round. Oh, he makes the move. That was super close. I'm not really sure what happened there, but looking back at this one, we'll get a quick replay before we do your midway, as we see what happens here. And what I'm seeing is that it looks like Sampson was holding the outside line to go around the outside here. As they come up Andretti straight away, you'll see this now. He holds the outside. He's definitely signaling, I'm going outside line here. And across comes Chapman, kind of into his lane, and then starts braking way too close, and unfortunately spins himself off the bumper, I think.
Certainly looks like that indeed, Rachel, as we go back live to see these two still battling it out for position right now. This is, of course, the battle for 3rd and 4th, as we see Brodigan now trying to close the gap between him and Gregory Sampson as they approach up into Moss. We see them take the nice line. You want to go up a little bit wide to get to that little apex off on the top side before having to dive it to the second apex when you're coming off corner exit. That's one of the key parts about driving that corner here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, as we now set it up down the long Mario Andretti back straightaway here as they approach towards the S's. We see Brodigan's not close enough right now to make a pass on Sampson, but he's there if he can just get a little bit better run off the S's and through whites.
Certainly will. And you know what? It is time, as we cross that halfway point of tonight's sport class race, it's time to bring you the Midway Race Report, brought to you by Pirelli. Pirelli was founded in Milan in 1872 and is a global brand known for its cutting-edge technology, high-end production excellence, and passion for innovation that draws heavily on its Italian roots. Pirelli is among the world's major producers of tyres, as an OEM supplier to Porsche. Find out more about Pirelli at www.pirelli.com. With that in mind, let's take a look at your positions here so far. David De Palma out front from the Upper Canada region of zone number 1. The 72 car, good job for a Canadian driver to hopefully be leading here and hopefully take the win at Mosport. P2 is Ken Tubman, the Lone Star region. Zone number 5, the 16 car, is in second place right now. And we're hearing that the start is under review. We'll get you more on that later. Third place, Gregory Sampson, the Maverick region driver of Zone 5. Another Texan there. The 91 car, he is up 4 places from 7th. P4 is Jason Brodigan chasing down Sampson ahead of him. Another Texan there in the 14 car. He's exactly where he started in 4th place. 5th place, started 2nd, but he is now running in 5th. Ogren Girl out of the Rally Sport region, zone number 4, has not had the best of days as we see a pit stop here, as we had a black flag for an incident on Gregory Sampson. Ben Lung is the Upper Canada region driver, zone number 1, P5. Ben Lung started 9th, up 4. P number 6, Curtis Crummell, the Carolinas region driver, zone number 3. The 41 car is currently in 6th, where he started. 7th place now will be John Martin in the Upper Canada region, zone number 1. 21 car in 8th, where he started. That's P7 now, we're cycling things around with that penalty. P8 will be Will Kelly in the Maverick region, zone number 5, another Texan there, the 26 car of Kelly is currently up 4. P9, Daniel Florian, Carolinas region, zone number 3, 911 car, running in 9th place, is going to be up 4 as well. Chino is going to be up 7. David Snelling in 10th, 13 car, Northeast region of zone number 1. Snelling is going to be scored, currently up 6.
Carl Davis just outside of the top 10 in the 217 machine, 11th spot. The First Settles region of Zone 2, trying to work his way inside of the top 10, just about a 10th or a second and a 10th behind the driver in front to get into a battle to work his way for that top 10 spot here tonight. 12th position going to be Donald Binkley from the Zone 3 number 02 machine in 12th spot right now, and in the zip code of Zone, not really having any cars to pressure him or to battle with, and just out there turning laps, trying to be consistent, possibly catch drivers in front. 13th spot going to be Antonio De Silva from the Metropolitan New York region of Zone 4 in the 24 machine, as we could see a couple of cars just on his tail looking to battle to take that. One of them being P14, the number 51 machine of Peter from the Down East region of Zone 1, trying to follow closely on the back bumper of that battle. The third car in that battle is the 13th position, or 15th position, I apologize, of Hagerty Sampson, who had a problem earlier on, ended up getting a penalty just a few minutes ago from the 2nd or 3rd spot up there. The Maverick region driver of Zone 5 now back to 15th, trying to work his way back up through the field. 16th spot going to be Carl Cherry from the Metropolitan New York region of Zone 1, the 80 machine, working his way down the Mario Andretti straight, looking at that battle up in front. A little bit of right side damage not helping that machine get any faster. Bob Moore from the Northeast region of Zone 1, the 7-72 machine, doing a good job here tonight, keeping the car clean and trying to work his way around the course with no incidents here tonight. 18th spot, as we go back here, is going to be Jason Brum from the Western Michigan region of Zone 4 in the 03 machine. Very sporty looking paint scheme, definitely noticeable here in Canada. So we get a great look at that. Almost has kind of a pumpkin color to it with the United States flag on the top, nevertheless, as he works his way out of turn 1. 19th spot going to be Dean Chapman from the the Northern New Jersey region of Zone 1, the 605 machine, the 19th spot. Another good paint scheme. A lot of drivers trying to sport their own stuff. And the podium logo, of course, on the back, and the PCA competition logos. 20th, and just inside of our top 20 here is going to be Will Waldron from the Houston Champlain region of Zone 1. Car number 11 has a little bit of front end damage, but other than that, trying to make himself into a battle here. The driver for 19th place as we go just outside of the top 20, Taylor.
James Bernard from the Alaska region sits in that 21st position, having a quiet night so far after starting in 26, gaining about 5 spots, so a good run for him in car number 44. 22nd, we'll find Lance Wilsey, who's from the Northeast region, up into Canada, looking to see if he can support his hometown of here in Canada, so he can be able to have a good run. But started in 27th, has now gained 5 spots as well, so a good drive for car number 15. In 23rd will be Rusty Pruden from the Kentucky region, Zone 13, has gained 2 spots after starting in 25th, is trying to stay on the lead lap. 24th spot will be Robert Walton from the Maverick region, the Texan, not having the best night, but he started 24th, has stayed in that spot, so he's been consistent since the drop of the green flag. 25th spot will be Ryan McGee from the Nordstern region. He's gained 4 spots since the drop of the green flag, starting in 29th, so a quiet night for him. Let's see if he can gain a couple of more before the end of tonight's race. 26th, the last car, or actually the first car on one lap down, is Tom Crane from the Mardi Gras region. Has had a tough break here early on in the going with some incidents, but is able to recover nicely to continue on. 27th is William Mungui, a tough night for him. Started 19th, he's now down in 27th. The Peach State region driver looking to see if he can capitalize and find his way back on the lead lap. 28, John Croak had some tough issues from the Potomac region, as he had some issues in Moss, had some issues in turn 1, so he is looking to try and recover some decent points for him. And of course in 29th will be Jeff Williams from the Rocky Mountain regions. Zone 9 has had a very quiet night as well, only has lost 1 spot after starting 28th. And then rounding out your top 30, Ken Nielsen from the Pacific Northwest region, started in 31st, has gained 1 spot as he is the last car 1 lap down in the field.
And that is the last of our field running tonight. That was our midway race break for you here today. Brought to you, of course, by Pirelli for your sport class. Back on track, how are things going? Well, David Palmer has still checked out, 2.8 seconds over Tubman, who is running casually on his own. Brodigan, however, Brodigan was running with another car. I believe that's a lap car right now. That's the 68, so that is Tom Crane. He is now running alone. Ben Long is running alone. Of course, we saw that penalty for Sampson earlier. Behind them, Crummell and Gerlap have a bit of a decent gap. John Martin behind them. All split by about a second, so it's not close yet, but it's getting that way. May see that one evolve over time. Will Kelly just behind them with Florian and Snelling. All cars kind of spread out so far, guys. This one's definitely been interesting so far. 6 minutes left on the clock in this race, and it's been busy. Much busier, I think, than Challenge somehow.
At least so, Rachel. These drivers have been a little bit more tame, I believe, than the Challenge class from what we've seen so far. The battles at the beginning of the race were definitely more fierce than the Challenge class, but things have definitely started to string out a lot more. And the battles throughout the field have become few and far between, but one going out on the track right now for the 17th, 18th, and 19th position.
There certainly is, and those guys are around Baum, Chapman, of course, who was running higher up, and Waldron. We're on board with Baum here, Western Michigan region of Zone 4 driver. He's chasing down the car ahead of him, Dean Chapman there through 5B of Moss. Up the Mario Andretti straight, and he's close enough here to have something really happen with this one, Ricky.
Yeah, and that's going to be a great place to really get in the slipstream behind a driver in front of you. It's a really good battle. And working into turn 8, we saw some carnage happen there earlier on here with probably about 16 minutes to go, with a couple of other drivers getting into each other and some blocking happening at the end of the Mario Andretti straight. So that can certainly happen, but these last 3 corners are where most of the moves are made late in the going, Rachel. These drivers like to try and make it too wide and really push the envelope through those last 3 corners for what can and cannot be done. Unfortunately, it ends up and contact more often than less, but these drivers seem to be stringed out enough that maybe going down the straightaway this time by, we could see a battle.
Yeah, we certainly could, but they're going to have to do a little bit of closing in before that can happen. 4 minutes on the clock. We're looking at about 3 laps here for you tonight before we find out who wins your sport class. The second race of 4 tonight, so stay tuned if you want more racing action. We have Club and Pro coming up. They, of course, always exciting races, but it's getting super close here between Chapman and Waldron. Who will win this one out? This is definitely our closest fight on the racetrack right now. Taylor, they've been going out for a while.
It certainly is, but I'm also keeping an eye on another battle, the battle for 10th spot. That's between David Snelling and Carroll Davis. Those two have been going at it pretty strong as well as they work their way into turn 1 to make the run up to Clayton before down the hill, then back up another hill as they head over into Quebec. You're on board with Carroll Davis from the First Settlers region. Snelling closely dancing with that green edge right there as he tries to stay on the pavement as they climb up to Quebec. This corner here can be very tricky. You have to make sure you try to hug that curbing a little bit, then let it run out as you come off the corner exit before you go underneath this bridge here to make the run over to Moss Corner right now as they climb up the hill. A good opportunity for Carroll Davis to get a sneak. He tries to close the gap but can't get to the inside of David Snelling for that 10th spot. He is close enough, though, to get in the slipstream as they go down the Andretti Straight.
Trying to, but it's not going to be enough, we don't think, at the moment to really do anything with it. That battle on your screen, though, looking super close. Not seen if he can do anything with it yet. He's going to try. But yet, not close enough as they head through 8, 9, and 10. A bit further back, we're still seeing the battle with Chapman and Waldron, 16th, 17th. What's happening with them? Waldron, he's closing in again. It's a similar looking gap as it is with the cars ahead. Binkley and De Silva. But no grouping. We'll see any passing happening into 8.
Yeah, with only 2 minutes to go, Rachel, those two groups can definitely meet in the middle here. You can see already the closing rate here. Waldron was looking at 1 spot now and is possibly looking at 3 if he can really get down on the power and try and make some moves happen. Currently 17th, and that's inside of the top 15 if he can make these passes happen here.
Yeah, certainly is, and that could be a big amount of spaces for him. Meaning points, that's important, of course, as we come into these closing whiles of the race. 3.4 for Palmer over Tubman. There's another 2.5 back to Brodigan behind him. 4.4 to Ben Lung. And another 2 seconds back to Krummel behind him. 2 seconds back to Gerlach. Then it's another 7 tenths between Gerlach and Martin. Could we see a battle evolving there? We'll find out. 1 minute 20 on the clock, which means that this will be our white flag this time by. We will see ourselves go around one more time. We have enough time with a 1 minute 16 lap. Let's see what happens here. Funny how we've lost about a second on the qualifying pace from a 5-degree increase in temperature.
It certainly is, Rachel. I mean, the track temperature is about 113 right now after a nice, cool 72 degrees with winds coming out of the north at 5 miles an hour. So very interesting to see how that be the case with the affecting handling of some of these cars right now as we watch our race leader work his way. I believe that's going to be down the Andretti straightaway for the final time, hopefully, as we now watch the battle between Dean Chapman and Will Waldron as they work their way through turn 1. Waldron was able to get around his rival of Dean Chapman as they come up to Clayton for the final time.
Won't be, well, yes, it will be the final time, sorry, for your leaders as they go one more time around this track. 20 seconds on the clock now. They'll come across. And it's going to be our last lap. White flag waved. We'll have one more time around for Palmer and Tubman and Brodigan and the rest of your field right behind them. It is super close here between Krummel and Lung. Brodigan a bit far away, but these two right on top of each other here. Could we see something happen? Krummel is desperate now.
Yeah, very close battle, and you can see for the P5 position or working way inside P4, these 3 drivers under a blanket here, and a very good closing rate right there. And a slow lap car in the middle of the track, almost a problem there, Rachel. Saw that happen late in the going for the challenge class as well, but these 2 drivers trying to battle hard here.
We've seen that happen in a lot of our races where lap traffic has been a huge problem on this particular circuit, being a narrow track with not a lot of space. Nowhere for them to go.
It always seems to be the case as we watch our race leader head down the Andretti Straight for the final time, but this is a track, though, where it's not maybe like the bull ring we are used to with Lime Rock, but it's still a small enough track where we'll see the battling and the lap traffic come into major factors for our race leaders, Rachel.
Certainly will be. And speaking of our leaders coming through the final corners, here he is. David Palmer comes across the line to win in your sport class, presented by Pirelli, with Ken Tubman and Jason Brodigan completing that podium. Behind them, Ben Lung will come out of the final corner, with Curtis Crummell not quite making it to him. Uncle Gerlach, disappointing day for him. 6th place will be the best he could do. John Martin and Will Kelly coming to that final corner as well now, as is David and Daniel Florian. And Snelling comes up to it now for your last car in your top 10. Ricky, you gotta say, this one was very busy compared to Challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. These drivers were all over the place, and from the beginning of the race there was a lot of hard battling through the first couple of corners that we didn't really see in the challenge class. Those drivers trying to stay relatively tame, but as the rest of the field tries to work their way out of turn 10, the flagman waving the checkered flag. So last couple of cars come to cross the line.
They do indeed. And with that, we'll give you your post-race results in the sport class. Coming home with the win is Zone 1's David D. Palmer, with Zone number 5's Ken Tubman in 2nd. Zone number 5's Jason Brodigan in 3rd. 4th place, Ben Lung. 5th place, Curtis Crummell, with 6th being Uncle Gerlach, John Martin, Will Kelly, Daniel Florian, David Snelling in 10th. 11th is Carol Davis, with Peter Yerkser, Bob Moore, Antonio De Silva, and Dean Chapman in 15th. Rest of those positions on your screen. One last comment from you, Taylor. Sport class, how was that?
Always exciting throughout the midfield, but for David Palmer, another strong finish for him as well. And of course, Ken Tubman looking to try to see if he has anything for his rival David Palmer, as those two always put on a good show towards the front of the field. But it's those midfield battles that we always look forward to seeing here, and we definitely saw that here. But now it's time to bring out the big boys. Let's see what they can do.
Yes. Yeah. We'll join you folks in just a moment for your club class.
Hagerty is the world's largest provider of specialty insurance for enthusiast vehicles and supports keeping car culture alive through youth programs, the Historic Vehicle Association, the RPM Foundation, and more. Hagerty is home to key programs such as the Hagerty Drivers Club, Hagerty Drive Share, Hagerty Valuation Tools, the Hagerty Drivers Club magazine, and much, much more. For more information, visit their website at hagerty.com. PCA Sim Racing is proud to have Hagerty Motorsports as its 2021 title sponsor.
Welcome back to PCA Sim Racing here from Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, or Mosport, up here in Bonneville, Ontario. We're here for your club class race tonight, brought to you by Michelin. Michelin is the presenting partner of the club class in 2021, as well as the official tire of IMSA. They also manufacture and sell tires for every type of vehicle, literally, including aeroplanes, automobiles, bicycles, earth movers, farm equipment, heavy-duty trucks, and motorcycles. Michelin also offers a full range of innovative services and solutions that help make mobility safer, more efficient, and more environmentally friendly. Find out more about Michelin at www.michelinman.com. With that, let's head straight to your grid. Zone number 2's Robert Rose leads the way here for our race in club class, with zone number 5's Jean-Paul Leno in second. Zone number 1's Nikki Chan in third, with zone mate Robert Lacroix in fourth, and fifth, Julian Velez. Sixth place, zone 13 is Jensen Benet, with zone number 4's James Hayosh in seventh. Eighth, the zone number 1's Jeremy Marzriello, with zone number 5's Klaus Nielsen in ninth. Dean Chen in 10th in zone 6. 11th is zone number 12's Michael D. Masters, with Ryan Kornowski in zone 9 and 12th. Sean Murphy was zone 3 in 13th, with zone number 1's Paul Netto in 14th. 15th is zone number 3's Gary Rice. Rest of those positions on your screen. Taylor, I've had 2 crackers of a race so far tonight. I just wonder what these guys are going to do next.
Expect the unexpected, as they would always say, Rachel. These guys here have always come to this track just about every season I can think of. We competed at the PCA, and it's always been a good show with the club and pro class. A lot of great battling. And with someone like Jean-Paul Leno, who is hungry to try to get a good win here in his PCA competition, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got to battle Robert Rose as well as several other strong drivers, Jensen Benet as well as one of them. He's going to have to see what he can do. If he can get the best start compared to Robert Rose going into one and coming out of Quebec, he might have a chance to have a first-time win here in PCA.
Certainly will. Let's get the cars running now as they head down towards Quebec and Chapman for our run in the pace lap here at Ontario's Mosport. Third race of the night. A step this temperature up, baby. It's been busy so far tonight. We had a breakaway win in your club class and an upset win in your sport class. What will happen in club? Who knows? Good third place win. Let's see if it happens. Also, I am starting to lose my voice because this has been busy tonight. This is one of my most exciting races this season. We have had so much happening tonight. If you're still with us from the start, congratulations, you are a superhero. If you are just joining us, you're awesome. This race is going to be amazing. You tuned in just in time. Sport, club, and pro will have to go tonight, and they're going to be big, big races as we head up Mario Andretti straight away. Of course, don't forget, in the GT3 Cup cars now, rather than the roof tracks. Our weather isn't announced. What is it? 65 degrees Fahrenheit, air temperature 8 miles an hour wind, 40% humidity. Getting a little bit warmer, I think, out here, or a little bit more humid. A lot windier, but a little cooler than we had in sport. So we'll have to see what happens with these guys. Of course, 1 minute 19s in qualifying, so we know that the GT3 is slightly slower than the roof track, with how they're set up in our racing at least. But this one is going to be an interesting race. Coming through 8 now, towards 9 for our final run to the flag here. It's going to be a busy start to this. Coming out, pace car goes off. Field of the commander, Robert Rose. Here we go, racing at Mosport. Big start there by Rose as he gets a great run here. Leno drops a position to 19 though of Nikki Chan, who gets out ahead. Canadian driver there with a Canadian flag all over their car for a home race. Up to second place here.
Everyone makes it through Clayton nice and smoothly. No car is going to go way out towards the barriers as they work their way up to the quick. And just as I say that, commentators curse. Ian Simon with the Q Cup Racing along with the 497 of Colin Schmitz makes contact as they're coming through Clayton. Actually, they try to take it 3 wide with car number 89 Robert Cottle. Something you really don't need to do when going through that set of corners. It looks like Cottle tried to go a little bit lower. That allowed Ian Simon to think that he was going to make contact, who didn't know Colin Schmidt was to his inside. So a tough break, and yes, our social media guy Eric Macer is probably going to put that clip out there as commentators curse.
It could possibly be, but this race is far from done yet because we may have an upset here. Third place might be about to fulfill what I said might happen. Yeah, we had first race, the leader led all race. Second race, second place, took the lead and won the race. Here comes third place for the lead. It is Nicky Chan, and they are coming up now right behind Robert Rose. Is it time to prune that bush? Oh yeah, no rose. Oh, yeah, rose bush. Yeah, okay, I was right. Never mind. Ignore me. Nicky Chan looking for this positioning. Can they do it? Can they nicky that win? That is pushing it in terms of pun territory, but I tried at least, and that's what matters as we come down towards Quebec. Coming round now. It's been really, really busy so far at the start of this race. We're racing further back here between Lacroix, between Velez, Benet, Hayosh, and Mazzuello, Chen, and Nelson. But I'm keeping my eyes firmly fixed on the battle between Nicky Chan and Robert Rose here. This is a huge one right now, potential-wise. Robert Rose is fast, but Nicky Chan is looking electric.
Nicky Chan is definitely a person on the move here today. They ran about the same lap times. I believe right now the fastest time goes to Jean-Paul Leno, currently out of your top three, but Robert Rose was about 2/10 faster compared to Nicky Chan last time around as they worked down the Andretti straight. Notice Nicky Chan sends it in a little bit deeper into the S's compared to Robert Rose. That's going to be something interesting to keep an eye on as they continue throughout this race, as they come up to White's corner here to complete once again another lap. Chan tries to get the good run off of corner exit as they come across the line. Give the fastest time to Robert Rose with a 120.591. He is definitely flying out there, but Nicky Chan is there to capitalize if a mistake were to happen.
Certainly is, and Nicky Chan is going to keep that pressure here on Robert Rose. And that's what makes a difference when it comes to making a pass here. You've got to get pressure on the leader. Get them thinking. There's a bit of a lock-up there by Chan as they head into Quebec. Will that affect their overall speed? They got a little bit sideways there. That's a little bit of squirriness. They lost a bit of time there, Taylor, as they got a little bit sideways after that lock-up. It seemed to upset the car.
Certainly did seem to upset the car a little bit there. That's going to be very interesting to see if they can be able to hold on to it as they come out of Moss. Nicky Chan trying to see if he can gain that ground needed, but no avail this time as he loses some time actually to Robert Rose down the Andretti straightaway. As we look throughout the rest of the field, John Paulino, he's holding on to trying to hold back at least 4 or 5 cars between him, Robert Lacroix, Julien Benlez, Jensen Benet, as well as James Hayosh.
Certainly are, as they're going for this thing. Still very busy on track as Mazzuello just behind him with Chen, Nielsen, Kowanowski, and Masters bring up the rear of that group. Racetrack is super busy, but I'm keeping my eyes still forwards here. This is still so good. Look at this, Nicky Chan coming up right to the rear diffuser of Robert Rose, coming out of 1. Checking the line here for the entry to 2. Tuck it in tight for that entry line. It's a weird corner like that. As up the inside, tighter line here by Chan. Can they make it move? Looking super close up to the inside, but won't be there in time. It's going to be a tight entry there. Oh, goes wide. Leader goes wide. Nicky Chan's the lead. Third place does it in race 3. Third place is up now. Nicky Chan takes the lead from Robert Rose here at Mosport. This one is getting so exciting. I'm loving this thing right now. Robert Rose has dropped that position. He went wide. The pressure finally worked. Oh, Chan goes wide in 5B. Not wide enough. Keeps the lead here. The gap has not gone away yet, though, but it has brought Leno, Lacroix, Velez, Benet, and Hayosh right into this mix, and this thing is really cooking off.
Rachel, as you would always say, things have gotten very spicy indeed as they go down the Andretti straightaway here. You have 5 cars, make it 6 cars under a blanket as they work through the S's. Lacroix, Jean-Paul Leno, Julien Velez, Jensen Benet, all of them. Then don't forget James Hayosh. So you have 7 cars battling. You wanted sports car racing. You get it right here at the PCA Sim Racing Series as they come across the line. Nicky Chan is on a tear trying to pull a little bit of a gap between the rest of the field as they come out of turn 1.
This is going to be the most hunted position in a race. You have just taken the lead from your pole sitter. and you are trying to hold off the baying masses right now. We got 8 cars behind Nicky Chan, and I am hyped for this thing. This is going amazingly. I am loving this. They said we'd get more action in Sport compared to Challenge. We did. We thought we'd maybe get some more action in Club compared to Sport. We are doing. This is really good right now. LaCroix has had a problem on. No, he's still running on track. He had one of those iRacing moments where you go blink, 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 but he's good now. Nicky Chan, that gap is starting to open slightly. This is really good for them, because this could be the difference between holding on here desperately. We lost Arthur Chan, though, who was running a little bit further back in this race. They have retired from this event as oh boy, Taylor, this thing is great. I feel like I'm a spectator watching this. Wait, I am. Never mind.
Well, we are spectators. We're just getting ready, though, to just tell the story and all the excitement that we see here, Rachel, as we see the battle for the 4th position between Robert LaCroix and Julian Velez as they drove side by side. Who will be the bravest one as they enter turn 1? Give the position back to Robert LaCroix and that number 64. Out of turn 1, they'll go nose to tail as they crest over the hill through Clayton. Great battle between these two drivers as they get themselves going single file once again. Jensen Benet watches on in his Porsche GT3 Cup car in that white, black, and purple, I would have to say, or light or darker pink, as they come out of Quebec and make the run underneath the Continental Bridge as they continue to do battle.
So, and whilst we watch this, Nicky Chan's opened the gap there to 1 second, so whilst this is a calmer moment of this hyper racing we've seen on track, we're going to get to your interviews right now, and first up will be David Palmer, who brought us home victory in the sport class. David, tell us about that race, and especially that start.
Yeah, it was fun. Happy to race on my home course. I'm from Toronto, and
double congratulations for the home win.
Yeah, just outside of Toronto, Mississauga. So it was fun, and yeah, we were just chatting there. The qualifying was so tight, tenths, hundredths of a seconds apart, and in that start, I knew that would be a factor. I was able to pull up a spot, and then I was just patient and waited. Unfortunately, Ken made a mistake there, and just able to pass him. But I knew it was going to come down to who could be the most consistent in the race.
Always does, but a fantastic run by you, of course. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or thank?
Yeah, our PCA group, of course. We host sessions each week to help us train, and big thanks to my parents, actually, Bonnie and Greg. They've been watching the races every week and cheering me on, so it's a great support.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us, David Palmer, bringing home that win in your sport class. Well, next up, we have Taylor Burris with Ken Tubman.
Here with Ken Tubman, who had a great second place finish here. Ken, talk to us about how your battle went with David Palmer in the beginning, but what was the issue of why you couldn't keep up that battle towards the middle of the race?
Well, we were talking about that in the waiting room. I messed up Moss Corner after a couple of laps, and he just got a run going down the straight. And then when he got ahead a little bit, I'm like, okay, this is a really tricky track. If I really push to catch him, it's going to increase the risks of catching some grass really high. And so I'm just going to take it easy, see what happens, and see if he made some mistake. But David ran a great race, no mistakes. So he kept it. At the end, I pushed a little bit, made up some of it, but that mistake I made in Moss gave him too much of a lead. It was just hard to recover.
Well, as we are only 2 races left in the season, how confident do you feel about possibly taking home another PCA victory before the season ends?
I don't know. Well, I'll be working on it. I missed a couple of races, so I'm anxious to try to make up for that and get as high as I can in the standings.
Of course. Well, before we let you go, Ken, anyone you'd like to say thank you to?
Yeah, I really like to thank our sponsors, Hagerty for the series, and Pirelli for our class, and Porsche Exchange sponsors our zone group with some great prizes.
That is, of course, and Ken Tubman coming home in second place. Rachel, you've caught up with our final driver on the podium, Jason Brodigan.
How you doing tonight?
Thank you for joining us, Jason. A fantastic run here tonight. Third place, got to be good for you.
Thanks. First podium in PCA. I'm pretty pumped.
Well, congratulations. How was the racing tonight on track?
It was tricky. This place is very tricky. One mistake, you're on the grass and losing lots of positions.
Certainly very much the case. Is this a track you really enjoy or one you find difficult?
I really grew to like it this week. A lot of practice and kind of found my groove, and it all came together.
Phenomenal. Well, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or thank?
Well, absolutely. Got to thank my wife for sure for letting me spend money on all this equipment and spend time in the sim, of course. And got to thank my buddies, the 5 slow guys, my practice buddies, especially Robert Walton, who hooked me up with a good setup for this race.
Well, there you go. Congratulations to you tonight for third place and your first podium in PCA Sim Racing. Huge achievement for you, so congratulations. We will let you go. Thank you very much for joining us, but James, see you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Jason. That was your interviews from the sport class, and we return now to the action on track here in your club class. Nikki Chan still leading the way here in this race. We are, 13 minutes into this race. The gap has gone from a second down to half a second. The draft is having a big effect, but right now it's looking pretty clean from Nikki Chan. Robert Rose fighting back here, but what I'm seeing here though, Jean-Paul Leno, Robert Lacroix, Julien Velez, James Hayosh, Dean Chen, well, at least to Hayosh actually, that group is still on top of each other. First through seventh are right on top, and it is not looking like it's spreading out.
Yeah, this is the battle to watch right here as Jensen Benet goes wide, hits the grass, and that'll also send the 911 around, as well as Julian Velez. Commentator's curse, Rachel. I think it's your turn now.
I think it might be, yeah, but that was at least towards the rear valley, Pat. Bringing it down to 5 cars now rather than 7, which is a little bit of breathing room. We've seen only 3 cars behind you rather than 5, but we are keeping things close here because I am crossing my fingers hoping to see a third place win because I like the math in that. The pole sitter won the first race. Second place in the grid won the second race. Third place on the grid is leading the third race. Please win. I need the math to work. It makes me happy. I need that to happen just for my own self-brain function thing. Yes, do that, please. Win the race. This is exciting and I'm loving this. I gotta say I have a personal favorite now, which I hadn't found before. But Nikki Chan is doing a great job here, and I love seeing an upset come through and change the dynamic of our racing here. It's not just pole sitter go brr. We're not seeing... He is an amazing racing driver, do not get me wrong, but I find races where the pole sitter just comes through and nails it. A little bit less exciting a storyline, perhaps, than a fight for the win. That is always the most exciting storyline you'll have in motor racing, and right now we're seeing just that. And it is tooth and nail around a roller coaster track. Something our guys have said during the interviews is this track is fast, and we know it's one of the fastest average lap times in North America. It feels like you're on track, trust me. This track, it feels like, I'd say, Lime Rock Park. Another track that has a very fast average lap time. You really are motoring there, and if the chicanes aren't, but Mosport, you're constantly in the gas, you're constantly carrying high speed through those corners. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 are all high speed corners. The only real slow corner here is turn 5A and B, because you got the Marangeti Straight, you've got 8, 9, and 10, all very quick corners. They're all big, wide, fast corners, and that caters to cars like the Porsches here. They're doing a very, very good job with this, and that gap is 0.2 of a second. Nail biting out here for these guys. Loving this. This top 4 are phenomenal today. Nikki Chan, Robert Rose, Jean-Paul Leno, and Robert Lacroix are absolutely steamrolling this race. We're not talking about many other people, and I do apologize for that. We will look at those in just a minute, but this has been a hectic, hectic race so far. A little bit further back, actually, I saw some... we had Dave Stewart go around in 15th. Jean-Paul Leno there on board with him in 3rd place. What a perspective there on the racetrack. Well, we have 14... Well, actually, we just did it, actually. But, of course, as we cross the halfway point of tonight's club class race, it is time to bring you the midway race report. brought to you by Michelin. Michelin is the presenting partner of the club class in 2021 and is the official tyre of IMSA. They also manufacture and sell tyres for every type of vehicle, including aeroplanes, automobiles, bicycles, earth movers, farm equipment, heavy-duty trucks, and motorcycles. Michelin also offers a full range of innovative services and solutions that help make mobility safer, more efficient, more environmentally friendly as well. Find out more about Michelin at www.michelinman.com. Well, with that, it's time to take a look at our field. Currently, Nicky Chan started third place and is leading this race right now. The 19 car from the Upper Canada region of Zone 1, a home track race for Chan, putting together an absolute stomper. P2, Robert Rose. The Shenandoah region, Zone number 2. Not their home track, but they are putting on an amazing race here today. 443 is down 1 from where they started. Jean-Paul Leno also down 1 from where he started in third place. The Mardi Gras region driver of Zone 5 is definitely pushing the buttons here. Fourth place, exactly where he started, Robert Lacroix. The Mardi Gras, or the Rensport region of Zone number 1, that was 64 car. He has not dropped off this lead group, and it is absolutely exciting. P5 is Dean Chen, the Canada West region, Zone number 6. 187 car is up 5 places from where he started in 10th. P6 tonight is going to be Jeremy Masriello, the North Country region, Zone number 1. The 25 car is up 2 places from 8th. P7 is Julien Velez, who was involved in a bit of an incident earlier. He's down 2 from where he started in 5th. And that's the Northern New Jersey region driver of Zone number 1. Just behind him in his big knock of cars is Klaus Nielsen, the Lone Star region driver from Zone number 5. The 04 is up 1 place. 9th place is Ryan Kornowski, the Rocky Mountain region driver of Zone 9. The 30 car is up 3. Michael D. Masters is in 10th place. This Space Coast region, my favorite coast, of Zone 12. The 270 car is currently up 1 position in 10th.
And as we go outside the top 10, we see Sean Murphy from the Palmetto region currently in that 11th position. He started 13th, so he's gained a couple of spots as he works his way over towards Moss. As we go back to the 12th position, you'll find Paul Nato, who's from the Upper Canada region, another home race for him as he works his way through Moss in the 104 Porsche. Good drive for him, but he has a little bit of work to do as he's trying to hold off 13th place Aaron Ambrosino from the Hudson Champlain region, Zone number 1. Aaron started in 16th, has gained 3 spots since the drop of the green flag, so a great performance for him so far. 14th, I have to say the Tough Break Award so far has to go to Jensen Benet from the Lincoln Trail region. Got caught up in another early incident between himself and Julien Velez. He's needing to try to find a way to recover. 15th goes to Brett Holmes, who started in the 18th spot. The Las Vegas region's driver is on a tear right now in car number 6 in that Tangerine Porsche as he works through White's Corner and continues on his way. As we go back to the 16th spot for the 111 of Patrick Gill from the Central Wisconsin region, Zone 13, in that cherry red and white, as he is trying to hold on to that 16th spot and hold off Kevin Douglas from the Racing Total region in 17th as they work their way down into Clayton's, almost side by side, backs off though, and Robert Cottle will try to join the fight from the Intermountain region in car 89. Got caught up in that early lap 1 incident, but is able to hold on in that spot after starting 21st. 19th position goes to Gary Rice from the Peach State region, Zone number 3. He's got a little dinged up on that Porsche, but he's going to continue to fight in that plum color Porsche. One of our biggest movers gained 7 spots. George Markadakis, Greek Lightning, as we like to call him. He's going to come through in the Pegasus Racing from the Metropolitan New York region, Zone number 1, in that red, white, and blue, as he comes underneath the Mobile One Bridge down the Mario Andretti Straight. Michael McKinney from the Cimarron region is in the 21st spot after gaining 1 spot after starting 22nd. In the 22nd spot, actually, is Jillian Wynn, who started in 32nd. A great drive for him after gaining 10 spots. The Upper Canada region's driver having a good show for the hometown here tonight. 23rd, Bruce Robinson from the Northern Ohio region. Quiet night for him as he's gained only 1 spot after starting 24th. In the 24th spot is Jake Steinbrink from the Ohio Valley region. Started in 31st in car number 46, that red-black Porsche. It's going to see if he can gain a few more spots here before the end of tonight's race. 25th is Dante. Oh, go ahead.
I wondered when I was coming back into this one. 25th is Dante Tornello from the Suncoast, Florida region of zone number 12. Dante is currently up 8 places from 33rd. 26th place is James Hayosh, who's just gone off Cadestridge right now. Unfortunately, we just updated that on the Heart of Dixie region, zone number 3. He is currently up, I believe, going to be about equal, actually, where he started. 27th went around. 28th is Colin Schmitz. 27th now, Colin Schmitz, in Milwaukee region, zone number 13. 28th for us tonight is James Hayosh, the Southeast Michigan region of zone 4. Number 8 car is, these timing scores will be a little bit upset after the few cars changing positions, as Tama Elbaga goes off the track there as well. In P30, 29th is now Chris Duffy with the Florida Citrus region of zone number 12. 30th will be Ian Simon of the Whiskey Bay region, a great place name, of zone number 5. That's the 87 machine there, running in P30. 31st, Tamara Elbaga getting back running now, the Rasandota region of zone number 2. The 043 is going to be, unfortunately, back a good number of positions. 32nd there is Michael Patterson. He's off the track, Longhorn Racing zone 5. Unfortunately, will be retiring, I believe, there. And everybody else is off the racetrack. So that's our midway race break, brought to you by Michelin here in your club class. Well, back to the racing. Out front is still Nicky Chan, holding on by tooth and by nail here from a charging Robert Rose, Jean-Paul Lano and Robert Lacroix. The Wolves are baying at the door here for the home track driver, Nicky Chan. Is this the fairy tale story? Does the home track driver make a mistake? They went wide in turn 1, and that's a big opening for Robert Rose to catch up here. But there's not going to be an opening to the inside. Defensive line by Chan into 2, but they back the guys up behind him. That is a really good way to do that. They haven't given them a big advantage, but they're so close right now. It is really close, although this allows Lano to attack Rose, which changes the dynamic here and lets Chan recover. Oh God, Taylor, that got sticky for a second.
Very sticky indeed for your top 3, because Lano was going to try to stick the nose to the inside of Robert Rose as they go through Quebec, but thought better of it. I thought for a second that Rose was about to go around and give the race win away to Nicky Chan, but as we see, look, Lano actually goes a little bit off through coming out of Moss. That's going to allow Robert Lacroix now to get into the battle as they work their way down the Andretti Straight. Here comes Robert Rose with a head of steam. Will he have enough as they dive down? He takes the peek to the outside. Chan is being smart, holding the inside defensive line as they work their way through the S's. Rose now goes to the inside lane, hits his apex mark as they come through the S's once again, heading into whites. Could he get a good enough run to try to battle with Nicky Chan once again and get side by side? We'll have to find out as they come out of whites.
This, I think, that lap stabilized things for Nicky Chan in the lead there, because it got spicy for a second. Robert Rose took advantage, but it wasn't able to be achieved. Unfortunately, taking those defensive lines will hurt your speed on a track like this. It will really put you in a difficult position to hold that in. But with it being such a very limited track in terms of passing, the only real opportunity, unless you get a big mistake, is going to be the Mario Andretti Straight there. Ooh, big mistake by Rose. That is huge. He dropped a huge amount of time there. He had to slow down to avoid going wide. I sort of watched this again, but the back end of his car stepped out through Chapman, and he drifted slightly, had to back it down and hold the car in one piece. That has given a huge gap to Nicky Chan. Clock is running down now, and I am on the edge of my seat. Replay there for you of what happened for Rose coming through now. Chapman, into Quebec. He comes in here, and you'll watch as he comes to the apex, trying to gain speed, gets a little tight, gets a little sideways, panic time, counter steer there. You see the wheel go to the right. That is not what you want to see. Oh, you see the wheel go left. That is not what you want to see the right-hander. As the gap now is really big, actually. It's over a second for Nicky Chan. I am rooting for the 19 car now. I gotta tell you, Taylor, I am biased up here in the booth. I am rooting for the 19 here. The hometown victory. Also, race 3 win from 3rd, race 2 win from 2nd, race 1 win from 1st. The math makes me want to vote for the 19, and the hometown driver makes me want to vote for the 19. I am invested at this point. I just need to make that clear. 1.5 second gap to Robert Rose.
They certainly are. 1.4 as they come out of Quebec corner, now working their way down the short chute before they make the climb up to the top of Moss corner. Robert Rose trying to find some way to get out to the, but looking at timing and scoring right now, Nicky Chan the fastest out of these 4 drivers as they head into Moss. A great drive indeed for them as they work their way down into the Mario Andretti straight. We have 3.5 minutes left to go on the clock, so looking at anywhere between 2 to 3 laps here. Robert Rose is able to pull away now from Jean-Paul Leno. It was now was at bumper to bumper, now about 2 car lengths separate the 2 drivers. The Mardi Gras region will try to fight the Shenandoah region driver as they work their way through the S's. Robert LaCroix is still watching on as we go a little further back to 5th, though. Julian Velez is in a hornet's nest of cars with Jeremy. This is all for position here. Jeremy Mazzariello, Klaus Nielsen, Ryan Korzeniewski, Michael Masters, Dean Chan, and throw in Sean Murphy as well as the top. These drivers are battling for that top 5.
I tell you what, if Nicky Chan does not look like Ted Stryker in Aeroplane when Stryker is sweating from every pore in his body right now, I would be shocked and surprised, because this is a difficult track to drive at the best of times. And when you have had the baying hounds behind you so long, as Nicky Chan has here, yeah, you're not going to stay dry on this track. You better have some strong antiperspirant because you're going to need it.
They certainly will need it indeed, as Nicky Chan has now dropped it down, lost about a couple of little tenths right now. Robert Rose has picked up the pace. He's now dropped it down to 0.7 of a second and closing in quickly. He just ran his fastest lap of the race last time by at 1:21.4 compared to Nicky Chan's 1:24.4. So it is about 0.3 of a difference last time by as they work their way through the S's once again. It's just a matter of, does Robert Rose have enough time to make an attack on Nicky Chan as they come out of the S's through White's corner once again. We should be seeing the white flag out next time by.
We should indeed, and this is definitely proving to be one of the most exciting races I've managed to see in this series. Bar none, really. This has been so exciting for me. I am honestly just blown away by this race. This has been so much fun. And wow, this has been unstoppable racing action here. There's been a lot of action on the field. I would have seen Michael McKinney go off the track a little bit further back. Actually, we get news from that. A little bit further up, we've got a lot of action here as 2 cars side by side. Oh, Dean Chen goes sideways into the barrier on the inside. He just caught that there. Michael Masters was with him for a moment as oh, that was so close. Oh, the gap at the front down to 0.6 of a second here. This is nail-biting stuff here. Oh my god. Nicky Chan, 0.6 to Robert Rose. Are we going to see a late race upset? This is so tense now as we come into, let me look at my clock here in the booth. White flag next time by. We're going to get 2 more laps here because it's so close.
We're actually seeing the white flag right now as Barney the flag man.
Oh, we are. Yes. No, we're getting white flag. Yes, white flag this time by. Yes, white flag. Sorry, I'm wrong. 1 more lap. This is it. For everything. For the money. For the full pot. Here we go. 1 more lap at Mosport. Let's do this thing. Coming through turn 2, diving in, lap traffic ahead. This could be a huge problem for your top 4 now. Nicky Chan comes out of Chapman now into Quebec corner, sees that lap car ahead of him. This could be one of those heart-stopping moments. Comes out through it, nicely run through the corner, under the Continental Bridge just ahead of them now. That lap car getting bigger and bigger in the windshield now, diving down here into the braking zone for 5A. Sweep it in, keep it clean, go it right, do not make a mistake. One last time through 5B, get a good shot out of the corner, use the lap car, this could be perfect. That lap car will give Chan draft to keep away from Robert Rose. This could be everything. Goes to the inside, takes the racing line. Nicky Chan has a good gap, but that big gap there for Robert Rose could mean a big suck up into the braking zone. Is it too close? Is it far enough away? Who knows? It's going to be far enough away. They'll not be side by side through turn 8. Nicky Chan comes through 8 now, keeping it clean. 2 more corners to go now in your club class race. Brought to us by Michelin. 1 more corner to go for the home track driver. From 3rd in race 3, Nicky Chan will take the flag at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Robert Rose brings it home in 2nd. Jean-Paul Leno in 3rd, and Robert Lacroix in 4th. My God, that had my blood pumping, Taylor.
Are you sure it wasn't the caffeine also, Rachel? Because I think that's the most hyper I've ever seen you call a race here in the PCA.
That was insane. I loved it. Oh, I'm just hitting my microphone, don't mind me. But that was incredible. What a race we just saw there, ladies and gentlemen. That was insane. As the field come across the track now, that was actually a super close field here. Let's go to your post-race results. Coming home with the win, 19 car of Nicky Chan in the 1st place. As those last cars now just coming up to the track here, there should be nearly everybody. Pretty close now to everyone there. Let's see those results for you guys here so we can move on to your pro class race here tonight. Will 4th place win race 4? Who knows, but I'm not sure I'll survive if they do. Zone number 1's Nicky Chan wins tonight from 3rd place. Robert Rose, your pole sitter, comes home in 2nd. Jean-Paul Leno in 3rd. Robert Lacroix in 4th. 5th place, Julien Velez with 6th place, Jeremy Masriello. Klaus Nielsen in 7th with 8th place, Ryan Kornowski 9th. Michael D. Masters, Sean Murphy in 10th. 11th place will be Paul Netto with 12th, Aaron Ambrosino 13th, Dean Chen, Brett Holmes in 14th, and Jensen Benet in 15th. Well, don't go anywhere, folks. You will not want to miss race 4. I get the feeling it will be our biggest yet. Join us in just a few seconds for race number 4.
Hagerty is the world's largest provider of specialty insurance for enthusiast vehicles and supports keeping car culture alive through youth programs, the Historic Vehicle Association, the RPM Foundation, and more. Hagerty is home to key programs such as the Hagerty Drivers Club, Hagerty Drive Share, Hagerty Valuation Tools, the Hagerty Drivers Club magazine, and much, much more. For more information, visit their website at hagerty.com. PCA Sim Racing is proud to have Hagerty Motorsports as its 2021 title sponsor.
Well, I don't know if you're catching your breath here after race number 3, but I sure am. Here we are with the 4th and final race of the night. The pro race from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park here in Ontario, Canada, sponsored by Porsche. Porsche is more than a sports car. It's a way of life for all of us, and we appreciate their support of PCA Sim Racing as the pro class sponsor. With the recent sub-7-minute lap at the Nürburgring in the GT3 and the arrival of the all-new 992 GT3 Cup car to the US, Porsche's dedication to motorsports is stronger than ever. Find out more about Porsche at www.porsche.com. Well, we are here with your pro class field. They're taking to the grid. Let's run through your qualifying order. First place is zone number 1's Michael Cooper-Smith with zone number 5's Christopher Pies in second. Third place is zone number 1's James Huth with their zone mate Liam Rizikis in fourth. Zone number 5's Leif Peterson in 5th place. Zone number 6 is Arthur Chan in 6th. 7th is zone number 3 is Raphael Amarim. With 8th place is zone number 1's Cameron Martineau. 9th is zone number 1's Chris Braun. 10th, zone number 13 is Joe Stiffel. 11th, zone number 3 is Jacob Schum. 12th place, number 10's Mark Huth. Zone number 9 is Rick Minkler in 13th, with zone 13th, Trey Drawhorn. In 14th, with zone number 5's William Anderson in 15th. Rest of those positions on your screen, Taylor. Just a second about the last race. That was the most fun I've had in a long time commentating a race. I don't know about you.
It certainly was, Rachel. Full of excitement, and talk about a hometown winner again here tonight. We've had 2 drivers in the Canada region.
We have. It's been crazy. We've got 2 hometown drivers, in fact. It's awesome stuff. Hit podiums tonight. Pace car will pull away with who we've decided is Leroy behind the wheel. Interpret that how you will. But we did have the, the pit road guy last night. Who was that?
Well, we didn't have a pit road guy, but we had Barney the Flagman, who's always been around.
Oh yeah, Barney. Barney's always been a thing. Yeah, definitely. Barney has always been a thing. Barney gets very busy at times in some series, but less in others. Barney only really gets out 3 times during PCA races, but he really enjoys it when he does. Leroy, however, gets very scared with a lot of cars chasing him, so he has to try and get out of the way when he can. And he always wants to race in a race. He's never had the chance to yet. He always goes out for that first lap, but gets very scared of the cars behind him, and he panics and pulls off the track at the last second and never completes lap number 2. So one day he will race, and it will be the end of all times. But aside from that, we come under the Continental Bridge here at Mosport. Michael Cooper-Smith and Christopher Pies, the front row. We've had a couple of sketchy starts here from the front row at Mosport, with guys going as soon as the green flag drops quarter 10. We'll have to find out if they can do it properly in the pro class races. It's apparently been questionable in the other ones, according to race control. But we're going to see what they do tonight as we have a 26 car field here. And my God, I am excited with this one. Let's see if we can do this tonight. Please, please. Give me something good here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can go for 4 out of 4. Could 4th place Liam Rizikis win tonight in race number 4? I would literally go out and buy a lottery ticket. If that happens tonight, I pledge now I will go out and buy 10 lottery tickets tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, not do it tonight, it's late. But if Rizikis wins race 4, I'm going to buy some lottery tickets. Because it is my week, apparently, coming up. I swear to God, it is my week. And I will do it. But, it's going to be good. Let's do this thing. Last time around for us here at Mosport. Race number 4, the Pro Class, brought to you by Porsche. Leroy will dive away to pit road. Here we go. Field under the command of Cooper-Smith and Pies. The green flag flies, and it's a big start now by Pies and Cooper-Smith. Side by side here. Pies on the outside as they go under the Michelin Bridge. Barney furiously waving that flag. It's 2 by 2 all the way through turn 1. And it's going to be a tight fight into 2, but the inside will go to Pies, who cuts the line and takes the lead early on. But come back, Michael Cooper-Smith. No comeback. Pies will hold the line into Quebec. And we've already had a change within 2 corners, Taylor.
We certainly have, Rachel, as we watch them now go single file out of Quebec corner, heading up towards Moss now. Single file, we see Liam Rositas take a peek to the outside. Now it's followed back in line around behind Michael Coopersmith as they come out of Moss corner here. A big send for James Heath as they come out of there. The accordion effect is real as they work their way down the Mario Andretti straightaway here. Single file as they now go. Michael Coopersmith trying to see if he can get into the toe of Christopher Pies down the straightaway as they approach the S's. You're on board with the Hudson and Valley Region driver. He'll dive it to the outside and try to send it in deep. Not close enough side by side. Here comes Rositas to try to get into this mix. 3-car battle for the race lead through the S's as they come up to whites. Who will lead lap number 1? The answer will be Christopher Pies as he comes out of the whites. Lap number 1 completed. Give it to Christopher Pies.
An incredible first lap here from your pro class drivers, and wow, 3 cars fighting for the lead here on lap number 2 in the pro race. The tempo tonight has not slowed down at all. My heart rate is going 11 million beats a minute. I feel like a cat right now. Who have incredibly fast heart rates, would you believe? In the 200 beats a minute sort of range. It's really, really quick. But Christopher Pies out front doing a fantastic job here. Absolutely putting the hammer down. Coopersmith, Rositas, Hughes, Peterson, Chan, Martineau, Amarim, Stiffel, Brown, Schum, Huth, Minkler, Anderson is the last car. Well, actually, Minkler was the last car in that grouping. 13 cars in the train. And we go back to Anderson, who's leading the Nettis group, including him, Dyer, Berg, Siddle, Reisenberg, and Chen in that group there. Next group is Franco, Yao, Schum, Eisenring, Rava, Lopez, and Drawhorn, who's had a spin. He's gone backwards now. Last car on track. Dropped back considerably here. Looks like just ahead of Lopez, setting up for a move in 25th. Looking back there from Pies towards Coopersmith. This is a lead your race, and the action is not dropping off. Look at how close these cars coming through the line. It's like, it's like one of those on-track cameras is right down at the side of the safer barrier on a NASCAR track. We've seen the cars flooding past in a non-stop line. This is sim racing, ladies and gentlemen, at its absolute best. These guys are putting everything on the line here for victory. The championship is only a couple of races away, and we'll see who can do what. Look at this. All Cameron Martineau can see from his windshield is car after car in this massive train.
It's currently 3 cars under a blanket for this first group. Then we have James Hughes, Leif Peterson, and Arthur Chan, and Cameron Martineau leading a 4-5-car train now, which is now starting to get a little bit closer to the 3-car train as they come out of Moss down the Mario Andretti straightaway. James Hughes loses a little bit of ground as Leif Peterson teammates to Christopher Pies as they work their way down the Mario Andretti straightaway. Here comes Liam Rositas. He'll dive to the outside. Side-by-side battle for the race lead. Could Rositas make it work? The answer is going to be not quite enough. Christopher Pies dives to the inside. Still side-by-side, but Rositas takes over the race lead.
What? Not again. No way. No. This isn't happening.
Better be prepared to buy those lottery tickets.
Yeah, race 1, led by first place qualifier all race long, won by them. Race 2, won by second place. Race 3, won by third place. Right now, in the pro class, P4 is leading the race. Yes, you heard me correctly. 4 in a row, first in first, second in second, third in third, fourth is leading in the 4th race. And this is about where Nicky Chen took over last race. I'm smelling a trend here, and I hate this. This is set up. Okay, PCA Race Control. Was this you guys? Have you been messing with people? This is you guys, right? This is rigged, yeah? It has to be. No way. This is amazing. The gap is opening up now, but this is granted a home track for Canadian driver Liam Rositas. He is powering on here as Coopersmith looking for a move on Pies on the Andretti straightaway just behind the leaders here. Side by side into 8. Can he dive around the outside here and take second place? But this battling will let Rositas get away. I swear, this is... you couldn't script this. This is insane. Coopersmith settles back in 3rd place there behind them in 7th. As Martineau and Chan, I think, fighting there side by side through 10. But this is incredible racing, Taylor.
It certainly is as they come across the line. Liam Rosicas has about a 0.7 of a second lead over Christopher Pies as they work their way through Clayton, down the hill as they climb once again up the hill towards Quebec. The gap is still 0.6 of a second. You got another 0.2 back to get to Michael Coopersmith. These three cars battle as they go to the inside. The Pink Pig versus Christopher Pies as they come out of Quebec, heading down the short chute as they bring their way up towards Mott's Corner here. As these three cars are battling, of course, Rosicas, so definitely setting the pace right now with a 1:19.447. As he actually set the fastest lap of the race currently. Actually, scratch that. Rafael Amorim set the fastest lap of the race, including Joe Stiffel with a 1:19.24, along with Jacob Schum, of course, utilizing the slipstream. So we could see the lap times go further down. We could possibly even see a 1:18 before the end of tonight's race.
We certainly could. Well, it's time to talk to our drivers from the club class race. First up is Nicky Chan. Nicky, that was a phenomenal drive.
Thank you. That was a very fun drive, very fun race.
That was insane. Race one, won by first place on the grid. Second race, won by second on the grid. Third race, won by third on the grid. You're a hometown driver, I believe. This is your home track.
Yeah, so I have a bit of a home court advantage, so I'm quite happy I didn't embarrass myself at my home court. But happy to represent UCR and take a podium spot. So
a phenomenal drive here, absolutely amazing run. Just such an impressive drive, and obviously a track you know so well. It wasn't that dominating a victory though. You were kept honest all race long. At one point, we saw you make a mistake in Quebec. That really brought the guys up on top of you. And it wasn't Quebec, no, it was one of the earlier corners, but it brought everyone suddenly on top of you. Did that make you worried for a moment?
Oh, I think I was worried throughout the entire race. I mean, to be honest, I was maybe no more than maybe about a second ahead at most at any point. So I was really driving in my mirror the whole time. But luckily, I think Lady Luck was on my side. Every time I made a mistake, I pushed Robert into Jean-Paul a little bit. So, you know, they had to struggle a little bit and kind of gave me some breathing room to catch my breath. But yeah, there were some dicey moments.
Well, phenomenal all the same. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or thank?
Yeah, I definitely want to thank PCA for organizing this and the sponsors that, you know, really make it happen, and everybody in the club category that, you know, makes it such a phenomenal experience for people like me that can join and race. So really thank you so much, and you know, happy to be here.
Phenomenal. Well, thanks for joining us. Nicky Chan coming home with a win in your club class. Next
Thank you.
up, Taylor has caught up with Robert Rose.
Here with Robert Rose as he comes up here and to join us. Robert, you had an exciting battle, probably the most exciting battle of the season with Nicky Chan. Tell us how it was, and did you feel like you had anything for him?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I know Nicky knows this track really well. I think, you know, we were just chatting about that. It's not too far from where he lives. He spent some time on it. And he was really fast on Monday night in our practice race. So I knew he was going to be quick. And I'll be honest with you, I've kind of shifted my focus a little bit from, you know, maybe a win to trying to gather these points for the championship. Just a couple races left and I'm in the heat of that battle, and so rather than stay out front and try and outrun someone I knew was really fast, you know, I just tried to keep it clean, and when he got a shot by me, I didn't fight him too hard, and I decided to just sort of stay put and push him forward if we could.
Well, quick question then, right? Quick, Robert, with us only 2 races left in the season, how confident do you feel about taking home a championship?
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely, I think, in an okay position at the moment, but I think these things, it's racing, right? So it changes in a heartbeat. And, you know, I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't nervous sitting down in the sim tonight, understanding how tight this field is, man. I think it's like a second from the pole all the way back to 22nd or 23rd position. One little slip up and you're way back. So I feel I'm in a good spot, but I definitely have to put the laps in. I can't let up, and definitely gotta keep pushing, and you know, so we'll just take it one lap at a time.
Well, Liam, Robert, before we let you go, anyone you'd like to say thank you to?
Yeah, I definitely want a big shout out to the PCA Sim Racing leadership, Doug Atkinson, Jim Hemmig, everybody behind the scenes, the steering committee. I mean, this is one heck of a show week in, week out, and I know it's a lot of work for them. It's a passion, I'm sure, but I really appreciate what they do to make these things happen, and the Opmo event on Sunday is just a huge accomplishment, I think, for this group. So everyone involved in the running of this, from the zone group all the way up. You guys, your shows are awesome. I'm going to go watch it here in a minute. The sponsors for the class, Michelin, Hagerty Motorsports, as always, my family root me on. It's a long list, but yeah, I really tonight want to focus on the PCA leadership. The sim racing community is great.
Of course, that is Robert Rose coming home in second place, as Rachel has caught up with our third place driver, Jean-Paul Leno.
Thank you.
Hello.
Certainly have. All a phenomenal race tonight. Third place in what was arguably one of our closest races we've seen. Just, how was that for you?
Yeah, can you talk a little louder? I can hear you.
Doing best we can, Jean-Paul. Can you hear me right now? So I asked you how the race was for you tonight.
I can hear you. Yeah. So, that was a tough. It was a tough race. Tried to keep the two Roberts. I had Robert behind me and Rose ahead of me, and just tried to keep Robert from passing me, and try to catch Robert ahead of me, and it didn't quite work out. But I'll take the third. I'm happy to podium.
A fantastic race, nonetheless. Is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or thank?
Oh yeah, all of the sponsors, PCA, all of the club drivers. They're a great to race against. And definitely my two fans. I have a fan, my wife, Louie. They watch all the races, and a shout out to them.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jean-Paul Leno, coming home today in third place at Mosport.
Thank you.
A few little connection issues there for the interview with Jean-Paul Leno, but we apologize for that. Back to the racing at hand. Things are definitely hot right now in the track. Fourth place is leading in the fourth race. They're going to do it to me again tonight, and I just can't believe this. I almost need Michael Cooper-Smith to pass here and take the win. I can't stand it. This is insane racing, and Cooper-Smith is coming in close here. This is a big run by the 22 car.
Certainly is the case right now, Rachel, as they work their way through the S's up to the White's corner here, turn number 10, as we're closing in on the halfway point of tonight's race. But still, Rositas is going to try to battle. This is his home track. He spent many weekends here and knows every inch of this track, as we found out from his father, Bill Rositas, who was, gotta say, these guys know a thing or two about this circuit, and they are putting on a show here tonight.
They really are. Amazing racing we're seeing on this track, and it doesn't matter where you look, there is great racing here. The leaders, this battle is so close, so we have to stick with this for a moment, but we'll go back to your field and see what is going on here. Trader Horn battling back, by the way, towards the rear. He is catching up now to Eisenring and Yao, fighting back here for the 20th and 19th place. But they're the Chicago region driver of Zone 13. Looking for 19th, looking for 18th. He is putting everything together here. Looking past the 9 to 9 of Red Eisenring. Gets it through. Big power move there. Qualified 14th, so we know he's got some speed. That's going to be Charles Yao ahead of him there in that multicolored machine. The turquoise blue car heading up onto the Andretti Straight. We look back towards our leaders, and it is so close here between the three of them. Rositas, Cooper-Smith, and Pies. They are under a blanket, Taylor.
They certainly are, but James Hughes, Leif Peterson, they're also in the mix. They're in striking distance. The top 5 is separated by about 2 seconds right now, with Peterson trying to close the gap ever so slightly. James Hughes is in that little bubble as well by himself, but right now we're still watching that top 3 as they head down the hill from Clayton, as they climb it uphill once again to go through Quebec. But Rositas is doing the best that he can. He has had so much trouble, though, in PCA competition. Always have had a fast car, but can never seem to close the deal. Could this be the night?
It could very well be. I don't know whether we'll find out here or in the next race, but this is the next race. I don't think I can get closer. We've had this all night long. Every single race has been like this. It's been so phenomenally close and so exciting that I'm barely holding it together here in the booth. It has been amazing. Thank you all for putting up with my crazy excitement tonight as we see Cooper Smith go for another attack here into 8. Can he do it this time by? Not going to be close enough. You could look at 9, but I don't think he'll have a chance. He's not quite close enough here. 9 a very good corner, but you've got to cut back after 9 very, very quickly. Almost compromise the exit there, roll it through to its conclusion before setting up for 10. So it's one of those sacrificial corners, and this is something that happens there in motor racing. You've got to give up some corners to gain in others for the overall speed boost onto straights. But you know what, folks? It is time for the midway race break in tonight's Pro Class Series, and that is brought to us by Porsche. Porsche is more than a sports car. It's a way of life for all of us, and we appreciate their support of PCA Sim Racing as the Pro Class sponsor. With the recent sub 7-minute lap at the Nürburgring in the GT3 and the arrival of the all-new 992 GT3 Cup car to the US, Porsche's dedication to motorsports is stronger than ever. Find out more about Porsche at www.porsche.com. With that in mind, let's take a look at how things lay on track. The 05 leads the way. The Upper Canada region driver from Zone 1 started 4th and is leading in Race 4, Liam Rizikis. Second place is Michael Cooper Smith, that very pink machine, the 22 car, the Hudson Valley region driver of Zone 1, in second place. Christopher Pius is in third. The Lone Star region driver there, right behind the other two, from Zone number 5, that 14 car, pushing so hard tonight. P4 is James Huth. From the Hudson Champlain region of Zone 1, the 12 car is down 1 from where he started. In 5th, where he started, is Leif Peterson of the Maverick region of Zone number 5. 5th, qualified 5th, and the number 5. I love it. P6 is Joe Stiffel of the Chicago region, Zone number 13. Joe Stiffel's up 4 from where he started in 10th. Chris Braun is in the 7th place. He started 9th. He's in 7th, up 2. Northeast region driver from Zone number 1. Jacob Schum there in that gorgeous flame design Porsche. Carolina's region driver of Zone number 3. The 56 car is up 3 from where he started in 11th. P9 is Jordan Dyer, the Schlonstein region of Zone number 10. He is up 7 from where he started as we had a car go off just ahead of the leaders. That's actually now P8 there for him. Rich Minkler's P9. As Peterson was the one that went off, we found out here. Minkler there, Rocky Mountain region, Zone number 9 for him. P10 is going to be Leif Peterson there. He's now cycled back. So 11th place is Mark Huth of the St. Louis region, Zone number 10. P12 is going to be William Anderson of the Longcord region, Zone number 5. He's up 4. P13, Upper Canada region of Zone number 1's Al Burke in the 169. Al is up 4.
Fourteenth position is Matthew Siddle as we see him go through, the Lone Star region's driver in car number 55 as he continues on his way through the Clayton corner. He's sternly by himself right now, but still trying to put on a good show. In the 15th spot, you'll find Stephen Chen from the Diablo region, car number 8. The white and blue driver, red, white, and blue driver with the Snoopy machine on his car as he works his way through, having a quiet night for him as well. 16th is Rafael Amorin. He's one of the fastest drivers out on track, setting the fastest time, but for some reason can't quite seem to make any pass. It does have damage to the front nose of that number 20 Porsche, but will continue to paddle through in 16th. Fan favorite Trey Drawhorn in 17th position, the red, white, and black zebra paint scheme Chicago region driver, as they work their way down through the Mario Andretti straight, is definitely trying to see if he can gain some ground here tonight. Charles Yao from the Finger Lakes region, car number 17 in the 18th spot, is definitely a man on a mission trying to work his way through as he is trying to hold off a hard-charging Carlos Lopez in the 19th spot. The Maverick region driver in car number 18 is still trying to do battle here as they work their way into White's corner. 20th is Jonathan Schoon from the Carolinas region, Zone 3. He is in the popcorn position watching these two drivers battle in car number 97. Ed Eisenring in the Pacific Northwest region driver had a good run last Sunday at Circuit de la Sarthe with taking home a class victory in the We Was Robbed Racing Porsche 911, as Rick Reisenberg is behind him from the Diablo region in 22nd. Arthur Chan is in 23rd right now in car number 50, the Canada West driver not having the best performance in his hometown area as they work their way up to Quebec corner. 24th, the last car on the lead lap and last car on the track, Richard Franco from the Potomac region.
Well, that was your midway race report here as we have a battle for the lead here. It is so close. Cooper Smith nearly had the pass. Honor Zitkis here. Let's quickly look towards what's happening there. As, oh my gosh, it is getting intense here at the front. We have 8 minutes 40 remaining in this race, and I don't think my heart will slow down for all 8 minutes 36 that remain. As right now, Liam Zitkis from 4th holds off the baying mobs of Cooper Smith, Pies, and Huth, who will not let this drop.
James Huth, as well as Christopher Pies, are in the catbird seat in a sense, because if Cooper Smith and Rosita's get to battling, one of those two could possibly jump in and get involved and maybe have a chance of passing those two for the race lead. So keep an eye on those two as you're on board with James Huth, the Hudson Champlain driver, as they work their way underneath the Continental Bridge up the hill to the top of Moss Corner, as you're on board with Rosita's coming through Moss Corner once again, and you see a big nose of the pink pig of Michael Coopersmith trying to close in as they work their way down the Mario Andretti Straight.
They really are here, and this is so intense at the moment between these guys. Cooper Smith looking for the pass here. Will go to the outside of Rizikis. Will he be close enough? I don't think he will unless he dives it big on the outside. Can he hold it there? He won't do it. But Pies is saying, I'll take that place if you don't want it. He won't get the chance to. Cooper Smith closes the door on him. But this is a lot closer, I think, between these three than we've seen from any other field. They are, the top three at least, are on top of each other. Huth kind of hanging respectfully back here, waiting for the crash.
Certainly is, as we watch on these three battling for the race lead as they climb up to the top of Clayton Corner, working their way down the hill, trying to keep on the pavement as they hug the apex corner as they climb the hill once again up through Quebec. Rositas holding strong with 7 minutes left to go on the clock. Cooper Smith gets right on the back bumper of that number 05 Porsche as they climb their way back up to the hill before making a downward spiral towards Moss Corner. Up the hill a go again. It's just a big roller coaster here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, but we love every corner, every lap around here because it just provides so much excitement. There you see Christopher Pies working on the steering wheel, trying to hold on for dear life. Has a little bit of a breather down the Mario Andretti straightaway as he tries to stay in the slipstream of Michael Coopersmith.
Yeah, this is so close. This almost feels like a copy of last race, but it's just a little bit closer for first here at the moment. As Coopersmith looks every time at Rizikis. This has to be the most tense drive of the Canadian's life here, as this is coming down to the wire. I'm going to have just over 6 minutes remaining, almost on the dot here. 6 both we crossed into turn 1. It'll be exactly 6 minutes here in turn 1 for them now. Going to be, I'd say, about 5 laps remaining with the way this should play out in tonight's race. Oh boy. This has been crazy, I think, is the only way to describe it. My heart is just pounding all night long. I've said that so many times, but it really feels like it. I'm alternating between pounding and absolutely done in this thing because these guys have put on a show tonight worthy of the best racing I've ever seen. This has been a phenomenal event here for the PCA Sim Racing Series, brought to us by Hagerty. Rizikis, Coopersmith, Pies, and Huth putting on a stomping show. Behind them, Stiffel, Dyer, Braun, Minkler, Peterson, Huth, and Anderson, as well as Albert there. A huge fight from basically P5 to 12th.
Certainly is, and what a drive for him as we watch on the rest of the field working their way through. And how about Jordan Dyer? Started in the 16th spot. He's up to 6th position, so gaining 10 spots here tonight. So a strong drive for the number 10 driver as he works his way through. having a strong performance here. Actually dropped back to 7th after getting passed by Chris Braun.
Very, very much here as looking towards the sharp end, and there's a little bit of gap here for Rosickas over Cooper Smith. Yeah, this is definitely shaping up to be a tense race, and I can't call this one. The first two are kind of good. The third one I was hoping, just because it made a great story. This one, I find it hard to really pick here, because I don't know if he can hold them off. I don't even know if Cooper Smith can take the move. I don't know if Pies will come through and do something here, but I feel something's going to make contact at some point soon.
Fireworks will explode here tonight at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, one way or another, as we watch the top 4 work their way down the Mario Andretti straight, and it's still lined up nose to tail. 4 beautiful Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars, as the 17 is having a little bit of a struggle right now, as he will continue to stay out of the way of the leaders as they are lined up nose to tail.
Definitely is, as this is hard to take your eyes off right now. Wow, this has gotten exciting. And speaking of exciting, Trey Drawhorn up from last in this field, up 10 places from recovery drive or what here by Drawhorn. Started 14th, but all the way back to 26th and last. He's running 16th right now as the car is in trouble in front of him. I think that was the car there of... Oh, it's struggling to work out who that was, but it was one of our lead group, or second group, I should say, that got into trouble there. Come across the track here into... Was that Arthur Chan? It wasn't. It was not Eisenring. Charles Yao, unfortunate for him there. Oh, tough end to the race. He gets his car repaired, then gets back out on the track. Taylor, our leaders.
They certainly are putting up a show, but as they're coming up on lap traffic, this will make it even more interesting to see. I'm pretty sure just how sportsmanship is in the PCA, I'm pretty sure our lap traffic won't put up much of a fight as we see the battle for the race lead. Cooper Smith to the outside of Rosita, side by side through the S's. Christopher Pies watches on, waiting to fill the gap of whoever it is. Give the advantage, though, to Rositas as they enter white. Pies goes to the inside of Cooper Smith. It's almost making contact. Here comes James Hughes, though, with a big run out of whites as they approach turn number 1.
Oh, lap traffic spins in front and thankfully gets out of the way as things get really, really close here. Going to be 1 minute 50 remaining on the track at Mosport. This has been a crazy night of motor racing. Absolutely insane. And it comes down to this. 4 cars under a blanket. We're looking at 2 laps. The rest of this lap and the white flag lap we'll get at the end of this lap here. I do not know what will happen by the end of this, but whatever it is, I will not be able to keep my voice.
As they work down the Mario Andretti straightaway once again, the Mobile 1 bridge they just passed under as they work their way through. It is still exciting. 1 minute left to go. We should be seeing the white flag this time by Rachel as they approach towards the S's. Here comes Cooper Smith again. He's going to try to send it on the outside. Can't get close enough there to make it work. He's going to now try to hug the inside. He needs to have that inside advantage into white if he wants to pass Rositas this time around. He takes a peek to the outside, dives into the inside, backs up his corner. This is what he needs to do to get the run he needs to down the front straightaway into turn 1. White flag is in the air as Barney the flagman waves it vigorously. And there we see Leroy, our pace car driver, just still sitting there scared.
We certainly do. Leroy does not want any part in this tonight as we come into the final moments here. Last lap at Mosport here for these guys through into Quebec. Oh, Chapman, sorry. Oh, that's Quebec. Sorry, I got the other way around.
And it's Quebec.
Yes, here we go. Liam Rosickas leads away on this final lap. Michael Cooper Smith in second place. Christopher Pies in third. James Hughes in fourth. And it is all down to this. Turn 5. Who gets it right? Who can get it better? Is this the chance that Michael Cooper Smith has wanted, or can Rosickas hold him off for that last chance run? Is he close enough? It's looking like this could be the 5 cars. Oh my god, he's close. He goes for a move to the outside. Michael Cooper Smith puts it on the outside here. Time to hang on the line for everything. Holds it wide, has not got the room. He gets back again, there's another run, backs out again, comes into 9, swings it into the apex, but it won't be close enough. He has to watch in horror. He can't get it done. But 4th place on the grid in race 4, Liam Rizikis will win at Mosport. First in the first race, 2nd place won the 2nd, 3rd place won the 3rd, and 4th place won the 4th race. What? Just
Go get your lottery tickets now, Rachel.
I gotta go get some more tickets now. What? What has happened? My brain exploded. What a race! Oh my god. That thing was legitimately insane. I don't know if this is the first win for Rizikis in this season. I think it's this season is the first win. I don't know if it's his first win overall, but my god, what a run. Oh my god. Oh, that was insane. I'm lost for words. Oh, wow. Incredible run from these guys, and that's everyone across the line. Let's go to your post-race results. Liam Rizikis comes home from the win from Zone 1, and his zone mate Michael Coopersmith can't quite get it done, but comes home 2nd place anyway. 3rd place is the number 5, Christopher Pye is behind them. James Huth in 4th, Joe Stiffel in 5th. 6th place is Chris Braun with Jordan Dyer, Rich Minkler, Mark Huth, and 10th place William Anderson. Albert comes home 11th with 12th, Jacob Schum, 13th Michael Siddle, 14th Stephen Chen, and 15th Leif Peterson. Rest of those results on your screen, folks. As soon as they're here, let's get some interviews. Well, he's not talking to anybody right now, so we'll take him straight from the here. I heard rumors in the race broadcast chat that you sandbagged to get 4th on the grid.
No, that wasn't intentional, but
No, okay. But I find it really sus now that race 1 was won by the person who qualified first, race 2 by the 2nd place qualifier, race 3 by the 3rd place qualifier, and somehow magically the 4th place qualifier wins race 4. This does not add up. A phenomenal race from you, honestly. You've got to be really happy with this one. Winning on a home track, first win this season. How's it feel?
incredible, especially to do it here in season 5. I completely choked for the win here, so it was nice to make a comeback for season 6 and actually get it done this time.
Now, was this victory, and I didn't ask this of any of the other Canadian winners tonight, but was this win powered by Timmy's?
It wasn't powered by Timmy's, it was powered by Leif Peterson. He actually gave me the setup that I think brought the car to the front today.
Well, I think he wish he'd had that in his own car tonight. It's a phenomenal run nonetheless. Anybody like to give a shout out to or thank other than Leif Peterson?
Leif Peterson for the setup. Thank you again. Thank you to all my friends and family for watching. I've already seen quite a few Discord messages pop up, so I'm very thankful for all the support. And it was really cool to get it done tonight here.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Liam Rizikis coming home today with a win from 4th on the grid in race 4. Next up, Taylor Burris is standing by with Michael Coopersmith.
Here with Michael Coopersmith as we are coming to a great finish here. Michael, you put on one closing show. Did you feel like you had anything for Liam Rizikis tonight?
I felt like I had pretty good pace, especially in practice and qualifying. And there were a couple times where I felt like if I was just able to make the move stick, that I'd be able to get by and be fine. But it seemed a little risky, and I didn't want to take too much of a chance. I just wanted to take the points and sort of live to fight another week.
As we close into the end of the season with 2 races left to go, how confident do you feel of having a good finish in the point standings?
I feel pretty good. I mean, I'm trying not to really think too much about that. I'm trying to just kind of take it race by race, and whatever happens, happens.
Well, Michael, before we let you go, anyone you'd like to say thank you to?
Yeah, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Hagerty and Porsche. I'd like to thank everyone at PCA. I'd like to thank my mom and dad, all my family and friends who support me, and of course, everyone the broadcast does such a great job.
That is Michael Coopersmith coming home in second place as Rachel has caught up with our final podium finisher, Christopher Pies.
I certainly have. Christopher Pies, third place tonight. A very hectic race and super close action on track. How was that for you?
That was a lot of fun, guys. I hope it was fun to watch because I had a blast. I was just trying to find room and couldn't find it. Those guys up ahead are both fast and clean, and they were racing hard. They didn't leave many gaps.
Certainly didn't, of course, but just what is it like to race that close to that many people on a track this technical?
I think it means a lot. I mean, this league creates that kind of atmosphere. I can go wheel to wheel with Liam and Michael all day long and trust they're going to be where they place their car. And the only reason we can get that close is because we trust each other. I know Michael and I have had some scrapes in the past, but this shows what we can do when we race nice and clean. It was an absolute blast. It was probably one of the more fun 30 minutes I've had in iRacing since I've joined this league.
Very much so. Anybody like to give a shout out to or thank tonight?
As usual, my family, my racing team, Denton Brothers Racing, Casey Carden Motorsports, who are racing out at Daytona this weekend with WRL. So rooting for them. I wish I could be there, but I'm not. And also you guys at Podium, Rachel, Ryan, Taylor, you guys are fantastic. And of course, Doug Atkinson for putting this whole circus together. So thank you guys.
Well, thank you so much for putting on a phenomenal race for us tonight. Christopher Pies coming home today with third in the race. Well, guys, that was an intense night of racing, but you know what? There is so much more coming up this week from Podium. Don't forget to check out eNASCAR Road to Pro Qualifying iRacing Series at Martinsville on Thursday at 9 Eastern on the Podium Twitch channel, with Next Gen Fast Fridays round before at Watkins at 9:30 Eastern on Podium as well. Formula Hybrid Wheel to Wheel is at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the road course on Saturday the 5th at 11:45 a.m. Eastern on Podium 2, with Esports Drift Association at Megaspace on Saturday, June 5th on Podium Esports. MPI Cup Series Round 20 at Michigan is on the 6th at 9:15 p.m. Eastern on Podium Esports, with Monday Night Racing presented by Napa Mazda MX-5s at Lime Rock Park on the 7th, Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Podium 2. But don't forget to join us next Wednesday for Series 6, Round 7, as we go to Michelin Roadway, Road Atlanta at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, as always, for Doug Atkinson, Jim Hemming, and the steering committee at the PCA Sim Racing Association, for James Pike, Gary Sexton, Cisco Scaramuza, John Theodore at Podium Esports, and for our producer Ryan Bauer and our camera creator Dougie Beard. For my colleagues Ricky Springer and Taylor Burris, I'm Rachel Wyford. Thank you so much for watching tonight's insane broadcast of PCA Sim Racing presented by Hagerty. We hope you will join us next Wednesday live from Atlanta. They got a big job to try and top that one. Good night.